Okay, we are live on Facebook. Hello, hello, Alden Alternate here, known as the Media Queen. Welcome to the Mass Media Tribe Meetup here tonight. It's very exciting to be with you tonight. We are going to have an amazing guest speaker with us tonight called Neni Carolina Chacin, and she is from Los Angeles. It's very early morning for her now. She will be joining us during this Mass Media Tribe event. If you would like to hop on the live Zoom, then I will pop the Zoom link into the chat. If you haven't registered on Eventbrite or haven't registered in Facebook, you need to actually hop into Eventbrite to register to get the Zoom link. So if you haven't done that, I will pop it under the chat here and you can join us on the live Zoom. You'll need to be on the live Zoom to win prizes at the end. We're going to have some prizes right at the end. So we're going for about 2 hours tonight, and it is about just after 6 p.m. Queensland time, which Sydney time, of course, will be about 7 p.m. So we're going through for 2 hours and we've got some amazing content. I'll also be sharing about how to gain free publicity tonight. I'll be giving some hot tips from my 36 years media experience. And if you're wondering what the Mass Media Tribe Meetup is about, now this meetup started as a physical meetup on the Gold Coast in 2018. And we've done about 20 or so events now where since COVID, they've all been going online. And we've been doing events every few weeks actually online, and we have different speakers who give marketing tips every few weeks, and the whole idea is to help people share their message with the world in a very cost-effective way. And actually, since we've been online, the events have been absolutely free. When we had the physical meetings, they were $10 to $15 depending when you bought your ticket, if you did it online, etc. So it was a low cost anyway. So it's been a great way to help people share their message with the masses. And what I stand for with my media business is I stand for truth. I stand for good news, more good news in the world to help decrease depression, anxiety, and suicide rates and lift people's spirits. And I think now more than ever, this is what the world needs. The world needs to be uplifted. The world needs more love. And it's something that we can all do to make a difference in the world of the mass media now. Now, out of 7.8 billion people on the planet, the stats are that there are 3.8 billion active social media users. So that's about half the world's population are now active social media users. So what's happening now is that journalists are looking to social media every single day for story ideas, which is very, very exciting for anyone who wants to get their message out, because I know quite a few people have been picked up by journalists in traditional media on TV, radio, and print media from social media posts. It is the most immediate form of media nowadays is social media and the mass media world. And that's what we're about here, is to help you share your message with the masses using online and offline media. So we have amazing guest speakers. At the moment, the events every 2 weeks. We're booked up right through to the end of the year. We have some phenomenal events. We generally promote 1 or 2 events at a time. So I'll give you some dates towards the end of this meeting for our future events. So you put some dates in your diary and hopefully you can join us for some future events. We've got a session on branding coming up with Jackie Everett. We've got some amazing, how to grow your business, how to overcome fear, and some amazing speakers coming up in the next few sessions. So I will share that towards the end. For those who don't know me, I have worked in the media or been in the media for 36 years now around Australia. I was actually first featured in the media at age 10 for table tennis, believe it or not. I was a top junior table tennis player, and I was on Cartoon Connection on Channel 7 when I was 11. I was actually bullied as a kid, and I never felt I belonged in Sydney. I grew up in the Northern Beaches area of Sydney, and I have European background. I am first generation Australian with Greek, Turkish, and Ukrainian blood. And at that time, it was a very racist time in the Northern Beaches area of Sydney. And I never felt I belonged. I was very angry with the world. I was seeing things like animal cruelty and watching the news every night with my dad, which made me very depressed. And I ended up taking my anger out on table tennis and became very good with table tennis, and then so went through a rocky period. And then I found the media a great way to be able to share stories about things that I saw in the community that I was not happy about. And that's the beauty of the media, is that you can make a difference with the power of the media. You can get your message out to the masses, and you can help impact areas of life that you are not happy about and that you want to see some change in. And you can also help obviously boost your business by reaching more people. There's lots you can do with media exposure. And since that now, I've worked in TV, radio and print over the years. I worked with News Limited and APN newspapers right around Australia. I've freelanced for magazines overseas, and I've worked in TV as well and done acting and film work as well. So I'm pretty well versed right across the board now with media. And with my social media, I have about 60,000 followers on social media. I have my online TV show, Media Queen TV, on YouTube, which has over 500 videos now. And I am very active in social media and very passionate about helping others find their voice through the media and helping them build up the courage to share it, to impact lives and impact their own life. So that's what the Mass Media Tribe is all about. That's what I stand for. I also stand for animal welfare as well. Having seen animal cruelty for years, I set up the world's first Animal Action Day back in 2007. And we just had our 14th annual event. We did a 5-hour live stream into the Animal Action Events Facebook page, over 15 performers and speakers. And this year's event, we're raising funds for SEQ Canine Rescue, which is a charity in the south of Brisbane that actually helps save dogs from death row. So if you want to know more about that, we've got a fundraising campaign going for the next month to help dogs and help this amazing cause. So if you look at Animal Action Events, pinned to the top of the page, you'll see that live stream. We had some phenomenal performers, really professional people and speakers, etc. at that event. So they're just a few things I stand for with what I do. And I'd love to hear from you as we share around the Zoom room now. I'd love to hear if you could share your name, because not everyone will be able to see your name on the Zoom, but if you could share your name, what you do, 3 things you're grateful for, and what you want to get out of tonight. Now, with the 3 things you're grateful for, this is something that I instigated through COVID. I actually started a Global Good News Challenge. And the Global Good News Challenge started in June, where people share their name, what they do, 3 things they're grateful for, and a piece of good news. Okay, so that's the format for the Global Good News Challenge, to lift people's spirits, decrease depression, anxiety, and suicide rates. And it's amazing how powerful it is when you share gratitude, right? And it's interesting, I actually did a bit of research on our thoughts the other day. Did you know that we have between 12,000 thoughts to 60,000 thoughts per day? 80% of them are negative, and 95% of them are repeat thoughts that we've had before. Now, isn't that interesting? So it's really, really, really important to notice our thoughts, because our thoughts become our reality. I did an amazing interview yesterday with Karen Clark, who's known as the Quantum Queen, all about how to manifest your desires and how to have your vision be reality. And our thoughts are crucial. So this is where getting into gratitude is so incredibly powerful. And it's the highest vibration you will feel is gratitude and love. Okay, so the more you can get into gratitude and love, the faster you will attract opportunities to yourself. So on the Zoom room now, I would love to open up the Zoom floor here to whoever would like to share their name, what they do, 3 things they're grateful for, and what you want to get out of tonight. So who would like to go first?
I'm the only boy, but I'm too shy.
Okay, so Caroline, okay, just unmute yourself. Thank you, Caroline. Over to you.
Hi everyone, I'm Caroline, aka the Wilderness Vet, but I'm trying to branch into doing podcasts and speaking and writing articles about vet travel, and I'm also really passionate about well-being because the mental health of vets is a big problem right now. 3 things that I'm grateful for: being alive with 4 limbs attached, which is not to be taken for granted, living in beautiful New Zealand, and the fact that it's summer here. And I don't really know much about IT or social media marketing, so I'm really looking forward to learning more from you. Thank you, Aldwin.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Caroline. And where are you coming to us from? Where are you based?
South Island, New Zealand, Marlborough, wine country.
Oh, New Zealand. Oh, Marlborough, beautiful. I love Marlborough wines. And however you have, is it a UK accent I'm hearing?
Yes.
In the UK?
Yeah.
UK/New Zealand. Awesome. We're the best of both worlds here. Fantastic. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you so much for joining us and for going first. Good on you. Brilliant. Thank you. All right, who's going to go next? Your name, what you do, 3 things you're grateful for, and what you want to get out tonight.
I'm Michael Palmer. I'm a retired business development advisor. I'm now producing a package of information, including an e-book and everything to help people go through the startup process, the business startup process. I've learned quite a few things over the years, and I'd like to give back and help people. Firstly, to save money by not rushing into their business plans without planning. And secondly, to help them to make money. 3 things I'm grateful for is this workshop for my health improvement just recently, and for Helen's support through this new venture, not only through this new venture, but for a long time, 52 years and 192 days. And what I get out of tonight is how to produce content in my digital marketing program, to make contact with lovely people like Claude, and how to market my small business startup package. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me? My computer just went black for a minute. Can everyone hear me all right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, awesome.
Did everybody hear all that I said?
Yes.
Maybe,
yes, I
maybe,
did.
yes,
me,
okay.
I can say I did.
Okay. Well, I missed some of it because the computer just went funny for a second. So maybe just repeat the last thing you said there, Michael.
What I hope to get out of tonight is how to produce content for my digital marketing program, to make contact with lovely people like Claude.
Thank you.
And how to market my small business startup package digitally.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you, Michael. Excellent. All right, awesome. And Claude, would you like to go next?
Okay, so my name is Claude Tranchant. I have to say that I feel always a bit shy about saying it. I'm a writer. In the last part of my life, can you imagine? In the last part of my life, I had become a walker. I started to walk about the age of 64, and I crossed 2 countries on foot by myself. I walk about 2,500 kilometers, and then I wrote a book about this journey of discovery of myself. And because I walk about 300 kilometers without meeting one single soul on the path. And that can be challenging, especially when you get lost. And then I got the bug, and I start to walk again. I walk again in center of Australia at the age of 70, Nepal at 71, 72. I did Spain and a small section of Portugal. And I was part of a documentary for that last one. And now have just finished my second book about the 3 last walk I did. Larapinta in Australia, Nepal, in Nepal, Pune Hill in Nepal, and as well for the documentary movie called Camino Sky, and I walk about 900 kilometers with them, close to 9, and kept on walking for about 1,100 at 72. And now so my book is coming out next month. After
Amazing.
yes, so that's what I'm happy with. And I said that was my life changed completely at 58, and I was very depressed, and I had to find a job, and I became a checkout chick in a fruit shop. And unbeknown to me at the time, this fruit shop was going to lead me to the walks I did, and it changed me. I realized that how strong I was, because born 74 years ago, you were nestled in your family. You could not go and wander the world. So now 74, I'm just reaching 18, okay? I'm just 18 now. So I'm hoping to get a lot from here, from the group, and as well to learn about how to promote perhaps more my books than what I did before. And I'm grateful for the life I'm living now. I'm very grateful for my family, my grandchildren, and all the people who have been around me, who have supported me and helped me to become the person I am now. So I think that's pretty important in life. Even it's never too late to learn.
Absolutely.
But that's it. That's the way the cookie crumbles. And I've got a project to do later on, but matter to see how I can do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Claude. Amazing, amazing. And we met years ago. You were speaking at a networking event. Oh my goodness, so long ago.
2015, I believe.
2015. There you go. 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's just flown. My goodness. That
yes.
Flown. Amazing book, amazing story you have there. And
so
yeah, great to have you here from Brisbane. And the thing is, whether you've, walked the Camino Trail or, or not, the fact is everyone has a unique story, okay? And it's important when we look at story today, not to compare yourself with others, because, everyone has different stories, and your X factor is your story. So the thing is to celebrate your story and look for, what are the amazing things that you've done? What's some of the lows maybe that you've overcome? What sort of breakdowns have you had that have led to breakthroughs? That's always a good place to look when you start looking at your story, because life is like a roller coaster ride, I often say, and it's just you stay on that roller coaster ride, right? Sometimes you feel like you're going down, sometimes you feel like you're going up, sometimes you feel like you're going round and round circles, sometimes you feel like you're going backwards. Sometimes it's important to slow down to speed up. Right, so just stay on that roller coaster ride and enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey. I do believe everything happens for a reason, and there's things we can learn from all the challenges as well as all of the opportunities that come our way. Everything's an opportunity. So fantastic, Claude. Thank you so much. Now, Melanie, I know you're you don't want to show your video, but would you like to share in audio?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
So my name is Melanie Chavez-Loudon, and I am currently working full-time, and then for the last couple of years I've had a part-time coaching business, which is I love my job, and that's why it's very difficult to leave it, but I think it's working for me at the moment. So I'm an HR advisor in my day job, and in my business, I'm an executive and life coach, and I focus on helping managers, especially new managers, to learn how to build an open, collaborative, supportive, and high-performing team. And the most important thing is for them to recognise that each person has, an intrinsic human dignity, and they have to take that into consideration at all times, and that if they allow their, the members of their team to grow by fulfilling their own personal goals, then that would contribute to the growth of the whole team. So in terms of 3 things that I'm grateful for, I'm grateful for life. It's a wonderful thing that we've been blessed with. I am, every day is an opportunity to do something amazing and to make a difference, a positive difference to the people that cross our paths. And I'm certainly grateful for the family that I grew up in. I have the most wonderful parents and a lovely brother and sister and their own families now as well. And I'm absolutely grateful for my husband, who's stuck by me through thick and thin. We celebrated our wedding anniversary last Saturday, so 16 years we've been married. So that's been an absolute wonderful journey, interesting journey, but very special. And what I would like to get from this session is really the courage to talk about my story, because it's something that I haven't really had the courage to. I always think that no one's going to want to know about me. I'm more interested in learning about other people, and my story is nothing special. But I think just as I'm interested in people's story, people may be interested in mine as well.
Absolutely. Wow. Thank you, Melanie. And where are you coming to us from?
Sydney.
Oh, Sydney. Okay, awesome. So Sydney, Brisbane, Gold Coast, and New Zealand on the live Zoom. Awesome. Isn't that great? Don't you love this technology? Fantastic. Connecting people all over the world. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Melanie. Appreciate that. Awesome. Well, I am going to share my screen, and I'm going to share a presentation now on how to get publicity. Okay, how to get free publicity. Who's actually, a show of hands, who's actually had some publicity before? Who's been on TV, radio, or print? Just show of hands on the Zoom room here. Yes, you have, Caroline. Okay, Claude.
Yes, but
you have as well.
I don't know if you can say a documentary is on TV.
Documentary, yeah, absolutely, on TV. Yeah, that's on TV. Okay, fantastic. So a few of you have, all right. Brilliant. Well, of course, there's a lot of opportunity with podcasts now, with web TV shows. There's so much media out there. Actually, there's even more opportunity now, I would say, than ever before, even though we have seen some newspapers close recently, right? We've seen some regional papers just since the end of June have closed down or they've gone online. What's starting to happen now is that we are seeing a huge emergence of the offline media world with the online media world. And while there might be 1 or 2 closing down offline media outlets, there's even more, so many more opening up online. So a lot of opportunity with getting your message out to the masses, and with technology, of course, you can do it like never before and reach people right across the world with your message, which is very exciting. And from the beginning of time, people have loved stories. So absolutely, Melanie, we want to hear your story. Everyone has a story. Sometimes we're just too close to our own story to see what the story is. So that's where it's good sometimes to work with someone else to dig out those gems of the story if you're not clear what they are, or start to notice as you're sharing your story with people, what is it that makes people go, wow, about your story? What is it that wows people about your story? Just start to notice and make a note as people say, wow, and that's a good place to start, right? Good place to start. All right, so if we could just mute everyone, I'll just mute you here, mute Claude and mute Carolyn just for the moment while I'm presenting. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm just monitoring Facebook as well in the background here. So we can see the live stream is up there. That all seems to be good. I don't know why we can't see Caroline and Melanie on the live stream though, for some reason. It's very strange. But there you go, technology is doing weird things. So maybe because your videos aren't showing, very strange. Anyway, whatever it is, it's bizarre from my view. Anyway, I will share the screen here. And okay, just make sure you can see that. All right, can everyone see that okay? Yes, you can hear that, see that, hear that. Yep, awesome. Okay. All right, so I'm going to present about how to gain free publicity today. And if you haven't had publicity before, that's okay, because you've got to start somewhere, right? So this is a great place to start. Now, I am known as the media queen. Now, it's very tongue-in-cheek. It's not just because people have trouble saying Aldwin Alternate. It is a tricky name, yes, and simple branding does help to stand out with your message online, whether you're doing social media marketing or traditional media marketing. Having a good, strong brand is very important. And it's also important when you look at a brand to have something that represents what you stand for. So what the Media Queen actually stands for is about celebrating your uniqueness and stepping up to be seen and heard and known with your message, right? That's what the Media Queen stands for. And also it's about lifting people's spirits through more good news and through truth, right? So when you look at the logo, the caricature, that's what it stands for. And you've got to be prepared sometimes if you want to get media coverage and put yourself out there, you have to be prepared to have some fun with it, because the media are not just looking to educate anymore. They want to entertain as well. Okay, and the more you can entertain with what you're doing and have fun with what you're doing, the more coverage you will get, and you'll get more airtime. Okay, so that's what the Media Queen's about. Now, just imagine what would happen to you or your business if you were interviewed on Sunrise Tomorrow, which is a huge morning show here in Australia. Or what if the Courier Mail or Sydney Morning Herald or a major newspaper did an article about you? What do you think would happen? Or what if Oprah's office called you and asked if you would be available for a show? What do you think would happen? What do you think would happen? Anyone on the live Zoom want to share? What do you think would happen? Unmute yourself. What do you think would happen?
After I die a minor death, I would be rejoicing.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't hear that, Melanie. Just say that again.
After I die a minor death, I'll be rejoicing.
After you die a minor death, you'd be rejoicing. Well, Melanie, we don't want you dying, that's for sure. So make sure you keep breathing. Okay. Keep breathing. But yeah, it could be absolutely frightening for some people, right? To be on Oprah. And actually, what happened to Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, when he appeared on Oprah? It was the 27th of April in the year 2000. When he appeared on Oprah, at the end of the 1 hour show, Oprah turned to him and said, "Congratulations, Rich Dad. We've just sold you 1 million books." And at the time, he was making $5 per book. Okay, so no one really knew Rich Dad, Poor Dad at that point. $5 US per book, mind you, which for Australians, that's about, $10. So it's about it's about $5 US is like, no, it's maybe $8, $7-8 Australian. So that's what happened to Robert Kiyosaki. Now, he put Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he put the book out in 1997. So 3 years after he put the book out, he actually became a household name after appearing on Oprah. Now, obviously, Oprah's massive media, but just getting into your local paper or local radio, you're reaching hundreds of thousands of people. So never underestimate the power of just your local media as a great place to start if you've never had publicity. Things can go exponential for you. And if you feel like you've kind of been chugging along in life, if you feel like you're kind of chugging, and you feel like you've been, struggling to get yourself out there or to really get some traction, it's okay, because it takes a lifetime to be an overnight success, right? And also, if you think of the exponential curve, that's what happens. Sometimes you chug, and then there'll be a tipping point, right? And the tipping point will then, and that could be just one media spot for you. The tipping point could then make things go like that. Or it could be one contact you make. One contact. That contact could be on this Zoom room right now, on the live Zoom room. It could be someone watching on Facebook right now. You could be one contact away from things going exponential for you. So never underestimate the power of contacts and building relationships. Everything is done on relationships as well. Well, this is all possible for you. When you think of people who are in the media and you think about the things they're saying, I see a lot of people in the media and I think this person's just Nothing exciting about this person, but you know why they're on the media and not you, right? Why are others in your industry in the media and not you? It's just because they've put themselves out there, they've marketed themselves in such a way that the media have hopped on them because they know about them, right? We are in unprecedented times right now with COVID. Content consumption is up at least 60% during COVID, which is very exciting times right now. If you want to get your message to the masses, now you have a great opportunity to do that. Active social media users now have passed 3.8 billion of the world's 7.8 billion population, and this is increasing by over 9% or 321 million new users since last year. Massive opportunity with social media. So if you're not active on social media, I suggest start to get active or outsource that if you don't like to do it. You still will need to do some social media yourself, even if you're outsourcing it, because you do need regular content. It needs to be personal to you, which is part of sharing your story, right? So even if you outsource it, you still need to tell your, outsourcer parts of your story so that they can share it, right? So there's still going to be some work for you to do as well. However, I do get some people who are really overwhelmed with the world of social media. So what I suggest is you need to look at who is your ideal target market and what sort of media are they consuming. Now, I would say most likely they are all on Facebook because Facebook is the biggest social media out there. Twitter is a great place to connect with journalists and with influencers. Okay, and LinkedIn, if you're in business and you want to target people who have more money, then LinkedIn is somewhere where you want to focus more of your attention. So that's at the very least those three. If you want to start getting more video content out, then look at doing a YouTube channel if you haven't already and get some more video content out. And that will also help you be found when people go looking for you. If you have more video content, people will be able to find you a lot easier and you'll get more searches. I do have 36 years media experience. I'll whiz through this a little bit here. I was interviewed by the media at age 10 for table tennis. I was on Cartoon Connection at age 11, and I remember being in the TV studio in Sydney, and I remember the TV host looking at me saying, don't think of the 2 million people watching this right now, as we're staring at the big camera in the studio. And I remember absolutely freaking out, and I froze, and all I could see was 2 million people watching as I looked at the camera. However, what happened is they had a table tennis table in the studio. My brother and I played forehand to forehand. We just kept that ball on the table, and that wowed them because they hadn't seen that before, right? A lot of people struggle to just get one ball over the net, yet alone just keep that ball going, right? And so we had this competence that we were unconscious of because we did it all the time. And this is the thing, there'll be things that you do all the time that you're not conscious that you're competent at, but others will find amazing, right? I went on and I did a media degree at Canberra University and majored in TV production, photojournalism. I then applied for a job as the editor of the paper, which was called Curio, Canberra University newspaper, Curio, and I actually applied for this job 3 times before I got it. And I ended up being the longest serving editor of Curio. And I wrote some really hard-hitting stories in that publication at the time. We had about 30 contributors. We put the publication out every 2 weeks. It was a 24 to 48 page publication. And one of the first stories I wrote was an anti-duck shooting story. I couldn't believe people were shooting ducks for fun. And it still happens, I believe, in Victoria to this day. And the headline we had was "Go and Get Ducked," right? So it was in your face uni press. Then I wrote stories about things like female circumcision or recycling and battery farming of chickens. I couldn't believe what happened there either. And I stopped eating cage eggs from that point forward when I found out what happens with battery farmed chickens. So, anything I saw in society that I wasn't happy about, I would write about. And this is really important if you want to make a difference in an area of life and something moves you. I recommend start to notice, what is it that moves you? You may be aware already. What is it that moves you either to sadness or to anger, or what is it you see something in society and you just want to change it, right? If there's something you want to change, then you can use the power of the media to do that. I then did my first media training in 2000 and I had repeated calls for more. And I've since worked in all types of media. So the strategies I'll share today work for any type of media. It doesn't matter where you want to go with your story, the same sort of strategies apply. And these are all different newspapers, magazines, radio that I have featured in or had clients in. Excel magazine, based in Singapore, went to 25 countries. Jetstar magazine was based in Singapore as well. M magazine was in South Africa, did some work for them. And I've been in all these other publications or had clients in them. So same strategies. I founded my media business back in 2002, and these are some of the clients I've worked with, small and large clients. Nowadays, I love working with speakers, authors, and social entrepreneurs, people that are out to change the world in some way. I love the crazy ones, they say, that are out to change the world, right? They're the ones that are going to change the world. The crazy ones will change the world. They're the ones I love to work with. I've also interviewed a whole lot of celebrities. I've had the great fortune to interview these amazing people here as a journalist, and Charlie Sheen and Jewel, and also Vanilla Ice I interviewed in LA when I was over there in the last few years. And there's a few things all these celebrities have in common. Now, once upon a time, they were all the world's best kept secret, right? Do you feel right now like you are the best kept secret in the world? Well, if you do, everyone starts somewhere, right? The other thing they all have in common is they have somebody else representing them to the media. So they don't actually represent themselves. It always looks better having someone else saying you're amazing to the media rather than you doing it, although it depends on your budget whether you're going to do that, right? So there's that they had in common. Now, someone said at a workshop the other day, they said the other thing they all have in common is they all have cocaine. Well, look, I don't know about their drug habits, so I can't say they all have cocaine. But what I can say is that all these people have toughened themselves to criticism. Okay, and it's very important. If you're going to put yourself out there, you need to toughen yourself to criticism. And it's very interesting with the US elections happening at the moment. And I think about Donald Trump. And, you know, think about the crap that they give Donald Trump and how he just keeps charging along, right? And no matter what you think of Trump or any celebrity, you know, there's going to be people that are going to love you and people are going to hate you no matter what you do. So it's important to stay true to yourself in everything you're doing and always look at how you can be of service with what you're doing. And that way the nerves will go and you'll be more in flow with what you're doing. The other thing they all have in common is they are passionate about what they do. Nowadays, I also host TV shows online. I've got Media Queen TV. I've got over 500 different shows, interviews, and good news challenges that we've had in there. And Tech Webcast, I've co-hosted that. And that podcast has had over 1 million downloads in the last 8 years. So I co-hosted that for a few years. What are you passionate about? This is a great place to look when you want to get publicity. Now, for me, I'm passionate about good news and getting more good news out in the media. And I started the Global Good News Day on the 8th of the 8th, 18. And through COVID, we've started the Global Good News Challenge. And our next challenge is coming up November 2 to 6. You can do a Facebook Live, either on your Facebook profile or in the Loving Life group on Facebook, absolutely free. Facebook Live, share your name, what you do, 3 things you're grateful for, and a piece of good news. And the whole idea is to lift people's energy and to reduce depression, anxiety, and suicide rates. Now, during COVID, suicides have gone up. Okay, so I do believe that if we have more positive news in the world and we can help create more positive news, if we have more positive, uplifting news, that we will have a lot less suicides and we'll have more people loving their life and seeing what's possible. So that's the whole concept of that. And then with the animal action work, I started the world's first Animal Action Day 2007. I've done 14 annual events now. The last one, 5-hour live stream, you can see an Animal Action Events Facebook page. And we have a fundraising campaign going for the next month, which is raising funds for SEQ Canine Rescue to help save dogs from death row. So what are you passionate about? What can you align your business with, or what can you make a difference with? Now, there's a journey people go on when they want to get publicity. Start out the world's best kept secret. That could be you right now. And then you make a start. 50% of anything you do is just starting. Next thing is you start to make some steady progress. You start to get some runs on the board. You learn about how to get publicity. You get a press release out, or you start to get some coverage. Get maybe in your local radio, or you get it your local newspaper. And then next thing you shoot for the stars. You go, right, I want to get in major TV station or major podcast, or start to shoot for the stars. And next thing you know, you are a star. So that's my rocket ship model for getting publicity. That's the journey that people go on. So it is a journey. It's important to be patient with yourself on this journey. Very important to be patient with yourself and to trust the process, okay? trust the process. Now, I have the only PR company I know of that guarantees coverage with what I do. So if any of my clients are not getting publicity, I will work with them until they do, because that's how confident I am in what I do, and been doing it a long time. So, you know, it's very important to work with professionals in their industry to get the best results, ideally, right? If you want to fast track your success. Now, there's certain keys you will need to get publicity and to share your message with the masses, whether you're going online or offline. Passion. What are you passionate about? Do a check-in here. Check in with yourself. What are you passionate about? Do you love what you do? Do you love what you do so much that if money wasn't there, you would still do it? What do you love that money doesn't matter with that thing? Purpose. What is your purpose? I do believe we're all here for a purpose. I think we're all here for a purpose. So what is your purpose here? Next step is package. Welcome, Yuki. I just seen you popped on the live. Welcome. Package. Then the next thing is to package up what you do. Now, with the package section, you need to have a press release, you need to have good visuals, and you need to have a good pitch. Okay, so that's what I call the package, which I'll show you some more examples of that in a moment. Profile. What do people find when they Google you? Are they going to see consistent branding right across the board? They're going to see consistent messaging with your profile. When people Google you, are you Googleicious? I love that term, Googleicious. I heard it the other day and I just love it. Profile. So what is your profile like when people Google you? People, building relationships. What we're doing right now today is building relationships for those on the live Zoom and for those watching this on Facebook. People, having the right people to connect with, building relationships in the media. Process is a process to getting publicity, which I'll share with you in just a moment. And then propel. How do you then propel your message? Make the most of the media coverage you get. A lot of people have had media coverage, and people don't actually make the most of it, right? There's lots you can do once you get your media coverage to then propel your message and make it go exponential for you. Now, there's an awesome media magic formula. It's in the shape of a wand, and here's my little magic wand here. And okay. All right, so the A of the awesome steps, here's Neni coming on, yay. The A of the awesome steps is to articulate your story. The W is to work the angles. So we're talking about shine online with your story today. Articulating your story is the very foundation of all your messaging that you put out in with publicity, with traditional media, and also with your online media. Very, very important. W is work the angles. And I suggest have 3 different angles to pitch to media. Next step is to elevate your profile. So E is elevate your profile. And that is where you then, with elevating profile, that's where you look at the press release, the photos or visuals, and the pitch. Okay, and you have 45 seconds to get a journalist's attention. Then you want to startle the media. And PR stunt king Richard Branson is excellent at this, at startling the media. What can you do that's really outrageous and funky and colourful with what you do? And then owning your power. It's so important to have confidence in what you do to ideally master interviews, which is the M of the awesome, right? You want to be confident in what you do. And the fact is that you have an amazing message to share. And the nervousness only comes in when you're focusing on yourself and if you're looking good or you're thinking about the 2 million people watching, right? That's when the nervousness comes in. But if you think of being of service, if you look at how you can be of service, then that is when you will be at your best, and that's when you really will shine. And exploding your impact, that's then making the most of that and sharing everywhere else once you get your publicity. Welcome, Neni from Los Angeles. Yeah, he's probably just woken up and grabbing a coffee.
Hi.
All right, there's some benefits you'll get when you get publicity. So there's fame. You will be able to become famous with what you do. All right, and that may be, you might not want to be famous like the celebrities, but you will be able to gain fame in your industry and be known as an expert in your industry, so you can charge more for what you do, earn more money for what you do, and you can really leverage what you're doing as well. And that will create more freedom, and you'll be able to leave a legacy. With every single media spot you get, you can leave a legacy. Now, there's 3 steps to publicity. I'm just going to cover briefly for you today, and I'm going to skim through this because I know Neni's got lots of great content to cover. So firstly, what's your awesome? What is your product or service that you want to promote? What is your awesome? Now, let's look at the cost of advertising. Just in Australia alone, these are some of the prices you'll be paying for advertising. And of course, there's digital advertising now, right? Some people are paying ridiculous amounts for digital advertising. And often, there's only about 1 in 4 people that I actually chat with that actually works really well for them. So for TV, for 30-second spots of ads, it's up to $25,000 for ads during high-rating shows. Radio, 60-second spot, about $500. People don't just do one ad, they do multiple ads. Magazines, $4,000 for a page, etc. It goes on, right? People pay ridiculous amounts. So why free publicity? Well, it's actually worth 3 to 8 times more in value advertising, getting publicity. And there's lots of online sources that say this. It builds credibility, trust, and celebrity status like nothing else out there. And nowadays, with so many online scammers, particularly when so many people are doing things online, people want to work with people that they trust. They want, and to have that credibility of the media is huge. And you will have celebrity status by appearing in media that other celebrities are in. You can target your message to your ideal clients too. So this is the thing with publicity, there's literally thousands of media outlets out there. You could have a hit list, you just target certain media outlets with what you do. And you'll increase your traffic, leads, and sales too. If you're in business, that will naturally happen, okay? So it's great for business as well. And it really makes you stand out because not many people are using this strategy in their marketing. And 80% of anything you do is marketing, right? So this is a really crucial element I suggest that you add to your marketing mix. Also, stories are viewed 22 times more than ads, 22 times more. The media needs your story. Every single day they need ideas for new stories. Now, when I was working as a journalist at the Gold Coast Bulletin, every day we had editorial meetings with the top journalists and the editor. Every day at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m, the editor would say, right, what stories have you got for us today? And you know what? It was challenging. As much as we had 500 press releases would come our way every day, it was challenging coming up with good stories, the people in our local area that were doing amazing things. There were a lot of commercial stories, a lot of stories that weren't relevant that would come our way from PR companies, you know, people with advertising backgrounds. There wasn't really great stories which were newsworthy, right? And that's the real crucial difference. If you want free publicity, it needs to be something that's relevant to the wider population, okay? The opportunity is huge too, and as more people are going online with their stories now, there's an increasing gap that needs filling. And journalists are really, really busy, so you can help them out by sharing your story. So with your PR campaign, look at what product or service do you want to promote or sell? What is it that you want to promote? Is it a new book that you've got, Claude, as you mentioned? Is it a new product? What is it that you want to promote or sell? And then what is your story behind that? Okay, what is the story behind the product or service? Because if you just promote the product or service, it may be seen as too commercial. So you need to look at how that product came about. Why did you start your business? Why did you start doing what you're doing? What are some highs and lows of your story, and how have you overcome some challenges? So for example, Stephen Esser is the guy I worked with a few years ago. He's known as the webinar guy, and he'd been to other PR people, had no media coverage. We sat down, we did an in-depth media consultation. And with Stephen, we came up with 3 angles for media. Now, one of them was that he was doing a free event across Australia and New Zealand, which was helping offline businesses go online. That was one angle. Another angle was his personal story of how 5 years previously, he was a panel beater in a heavy metal band in Sydney, not making much money. And now 5 years later, he's a multi-millionaire. How did he do it? And then the other angle for him is he created software that helps to automate webinars. And now we have a technology angle. Right, so there are a few different angles as to give you some ideas, and it's good to have a few angles up your sleeve when you're going to media, so that if a journalist doesn't like one angle, you can pitch the other angle. Now, the media can be overwhelming. You may feel like this little Tweety bird on the right here. You know, social media feels like a whole other language sometimes, lols, hashtags, and then this little Tweety bird is going, what the fudge is going on? What are you talking about, right? Well, while it's like that in social media, with traditional media, you actually need to portray your story as if a 14-year-old can understand it. So keep your messaging very simple, right? And as journalists, that's what we were always told, always keep your messaging very simple for 14-year-olds to understand. And then you want to package it up, a press release, a 1-page press release with the main points of your story at the beginning, a very catchy headline, photos or visuals. Now, photos or visuals are really important for radio and for TV. TV are always thinking in pictures. Radio is sharing their stories on their social media and sharing on websites. And then pitch. You've got 45 seconds to get your pitch across. Now, recently I was on Juice 107.3 FM here on the Gold Coast to promote the Animal Action event that we did. Now, I sent them a press release about the event. We got some photos done in the studio with the radio announcers. And what happened is Juice FM posted that photo that we took in the studio up onto their social media, and they copied directly from my press release, copied into social media the blurb, right? So if you think about getting your message out, it's about words and it's about pictures, okay? Everything's words and pictures and videos, right? And videos is just another form of pictures, right? So they say if a photo is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth 1,000,000 words. So videos are really, really crucial too nowadays. So always be thinking visuals, always be thinking about that. And with a press release, you know, you can get publicity without a press release, but you increase the chances of a journalist getting the facts wrong. And the more prepared you are, the more they know you're professional, and they will come back to you and they'll be seeking you when they're looking for an expert in that field again. Okay, and with your pitch, you need to be very snappy. Journalists are busy people. They don't like you to waste their time, right? They're on deadlines all the time. So you need to be very snappy with your pitch. Target your message to the right media. Now, here's some campaign idea joggers for you. You can have a unique solution about something that's currently happening out in the world. You could have an award angle, some controversy. So controversy is really good. Like, for example, in the health field, if you just say the word vaccinations, right, that's a controversial word, right, just in itself. And I'm sure you would have an opinion about just the word vaccination, about vaccinations, right? So what's controversial in your industry right now, or with what you're doing? What is getting people talking about what you're doing? New statistics in an area. The media love statistics. They love current commentary. Anything around COVID right now is hot, right? Media want to know, how are you dealing with COVID? Have you pivoted in business? What have you done differently? Are you booming? Some businesses right now are booming. I just spoke to a client. They've been booked out solid. The Freedom Potential Centre booked out solid for the last month since they opened. This is a new venue on the Gold Coast that does hybrid events. They do physical events and they live stream worldwide with a full production facility, and they are booked solid with people from all over the world. It's gone crazy, you know. So, you know, a lot of it is around your mindset and around thinking differently and doing things differently. Being the underdog with something, and then having a hero angle, zero to hero angle. Where have you overcome some hardship? Where have you had some breakdowns that have led to breakthroughs? What have been your learnings? Celebrity angle, right? You could have a celebrity that supports what you do, or you could align yourself with a cause that has a celebrity there. And then photo opportunity. You could have an average story, but if you have good visuals, then you will get more publicity with that. So this is an example. This is Dean Vegas, and Dean ran for mayor on the Gold Coast. We did a big launch campaign, had TV, radio, print there, packed out event. And this is some photos we used with that campaign. We've got the corporate looking Dean, we've got the Elvis Dean. And we said that if Dean made it in as mayor, he was going to stop doing Elvis. And what happened is he had a very successful campaign, packed out event. He didn't make it in as mayor, but he has been booked solid as Elvis ever since. So there you go. This is no such thing as bad publicity, right? This is a doctor called Dr. Mia, worked with a few months ago, and we put a press release out saying fear of COVID is making people sick. And this is what happened. We got a page 7 of the Gold Coast Bulletin, a lovely positive story about how we turn this negative into a positive and say these are simple ways you can boost your immune system during COVID. Eat plenty of fresh food, you know, reduce your intake of sugar, get sunshine, etc., etc. Right? So there's lots you can do to boost your health at this time. And then photos of Channel 7. We're on Channel 7 before the social distancing came into place. Make sure you get these kind of photos too. And Channel 9. So TV picked it up. This is Teresa Todd. She's a lady that homeschools on the Gold Coast, and she also was running a business on the Gold Coast. And we put a press release out empowering women around Mother's Day and about how to run a business from home and homeschool when the kids were in lockdown and had to homeschool. And she was on Channel 7. Social distancing had come into effect with these photos. And here she is. And at this point, radio stations were not doing any interviews in the studio at this point. Now they are starting to do it again, on the Gold Coast at least. And so when that happens, then make sure you get a photo out the front of the studio showing the coverage that you've got, which is what she's done here. So it's Juice FM Channel 7 again. This is Hans Jacoby. Now, he is a guy that came out of self-funded retirement after 11 years at age 66, and he decided to do a tour from Bundaberg to Darwin, Northern Territory, and 3-month road trip. He wanted people to bounce back to freedom after COVID, and he was going to interview people around how they were dealing with COVID around this trip, and that got picked up by Channel 7, Channel 9, Triple M, ABC Radio, Northwest Star. Lovely, positive story. And another reason he wanted to do it is because he wanted to inspire his grandchildren. And he said, your kids will learn more, and kids and grandkids will learn more from what you say, what you do, rather than what you say, right? So your actions are really, really important to inspire those around you. The second step is platform. What platform do you want to go out to? Do you want to go on TV, radio, newspapers, or magazines? The opportunity is massive. Just in Australia, we've got so many media out there, and worldwide. I mean, 1,600 magazines just in Australia alone. So whatever it is that you want to get out there, there's plenty of opportunity for you. And this is a great way now to think about where are your ideal clients. Make sure you get the coverage when you get on TV, radio, or print. This is Two's Company. Now, Two's Company is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. Actually, there's a big event coming up on November 6th, the Two's Company. And this was a story that went into Business Acumen magazine. And this company wanted to target more business clients. So they put out an angle saying, beware of shonky dating agencies. The PR value of that was $10,000 for a half-page story. This is Alan Coulton runs Root Barriers, and this is a massive plastic barrier that you put around a house that stops the tree roots from coming under the house and cracking the foundation of the house. And so this was an environmental angle that we used for this. Root barriers save trees and protect buildings. So that's what we call a unique solution angle. And that ended up appearing in Australian Horticulture magazine to his ideal clients, 4-page spread. $16,000 it would have cost him for ads and $80,000 in free PR value. The third step to publicity is to make the most of your PR. Make sure you get coverage, share it on your emails, share it everywhere. You never know who is going to be seeing your story. This is a local filmmaker on the Gold Coast, and just one story led to a $200,000 funding offer of his film within 24 to 48 hours of the story coming out. And this is Gold Coast Bulletin the next day that was using a celebrity angle, and it was a soap star enthusiastic about his crime drama. Lovely positive story again. Good news. We love the good news. This is the guy's in the health field. He just did local publicity for years, and he would pack out his events and often have to book second events. This is Claire Flynn. She's a relationships and intimacy coach, and this is a 2-page booming business story that went in Newland magazine. And from this 2-page spread, which is giving people a whole lot of tips about how to have happy relationships, she was asked to speak at an event in front of 450 of her ideal clients. She had more inquiries and leads on her website, and 100% increase in people booking her services and joining her programs. And she doubled her business turnover, and things just went exponential for her there. She was traveling the world for a long time. In America, etc. So did amazingly. Paul Herman, he's a local property investor. He's been on A Current Affair, Gold Coast Bulletin, ABC 2GB, and he's fighting bank fraud. So he's taking on the banks with the power of the media. And he's received literally hundreds of thousands of dollars in media. Now, Stephen Esser, a webinar guy, he's on Sky News Business TV. We were told he had a 3 to 5 minute spot, and we ended up with a 6-minute spot there. And publicity value is $1.5 million for that one spot. And he's an online marketer, and he can say forever as seen on TV, forever in his marketing now. That's the thing. You only have to appear once in the media, and you can use it again and again in your marketing. Use those logos and let people know about it. And make sure when you get your coverage, you get the coverage, tag the different social media on the different media outlets on your social media. Thank the journalists, thank the media outlet, and celebrate and watch how your credibility and cash flow grows. Now, there's heaps of PR distribution sites out there where you can share your story. These are just some of them, and really some of them charge per email, some of them charge for contact lists. There's a minefield out there. And often these are not so up to date with these distribution sites. So I do recommend check out SourceBottle as one great place. SourceBottle connect with journalists and bloggers directly looking for opportunities. SourceBottle. Okay, this is Michelle Patterson. We put out a press release saying coach empowers women who underwent forced adoptions. And this press release had some interest from this. We changed it just slightly to this one. Mother opens up on secret forced adoption after 30 years. This is her personal story, opening up around National Adoption Awareness Week. We had something with a date to point to. She was forced to adopt a child out. And what happened? She was inundated with media requests. I ended up negotiating with Women's Day. They paid thousands of dollars for her story. And this is what happened. These behind the scenes photos at her Labrador unit, where they sent a hair and makeup person to her unit, and also a photographer from Sydney came up to the Gold Coast. These are all behind the scenes shots that were embargoed until the story came out. And here it is exclusive in Women's Day. 2 pages. If she paid for ads, it would have cost her $60,000. PR value times 5, 300,000. 1.6 million readers she reached with this. And in the second column, at the end of the second paragraph, had her business website promoting her empowering women's courses. So that was the story in Women's Day. Lovely, positive story. This Kurek Ashley, he always wanted to be on Oprah, and this story got held over in Excel magazine from 1 month to the next month. And this was saying it's a zero to hero angle about how he went from $20 away from being broke to now being a multimillionaire. First 2 pages, next 2 pages ended up in the same publication as Oprah. So now Oprah has in her hot little hands a 4-page spread on a Sunshine Coast success coach and amazing publicity value there, 80,000. What is it really worth to be in the same media as a celebrity like Oprah? Huge. So that's a quick snapshot of the how to get free publicity. I do have the Global Good News Challenge we've got coming up in November 2 till 6. We're keeping it really simple for you. You can start a Global Good News Challenge anytime between that time. Just go to the Global Good News Challenge Facebook page and pin to the top of the page. You will see all the details about how to get involved. We'll just share your name, what you do, 3 things you're grateful for, and a piece of good news. And you will feel amazing after doing it, let me tell you. Most people do it in about 3 minutes. You feel amazing when you share gratitude, and you will automatically attract people to whatever it is you promote afterwards, which could be your story. Could be your story that you might share at the Global Good News Challenge after that. Now, I do have a How to Gain $1 Million worth of free publicity global workshop also coming up on Zoom. November 4 is my next one, 11 till 2 p.m. Queensland time, AEST, or 12 till 3 p.m. Sydney time. And it's 47 plus booking fee Australian dollars. If you want more details on that, check out the Mass Media Tribe group on Facebook and on Meetup. We can get full event details. I'll actually be giving away 2 tickets tonight to this workshop at the end of the meetup. So stay tuned, or if you're watching this on Facebook right now and you want to join us on the Zoom, I have put the link into the underneath the live stream, so you can join us on the live Zoom to win some great prizes. I've got 2 tickets to this to give away today, and also a strategy session, media strategy session with me as well. I also have a Mass Media Mastery program. If you want to work more closely with me or find out what that's like, just head to my website, aaexpos.com, and check out Mass Media Mastery. Go to the services, and it's all in there. We also offer photography, videography services as well through the business. So check that out, aaexpos.com. The world is your oyster. Anything is possible for you. And I want you to know that you are 1 in a billion just by being born. You've beaten about 1 billion swimmers to get to the finish line. You are extraordinary. And I'd like you to know, like one of my favorite movies, The Power of One, South African movie, I believe in the power of one, and I believe in you. May your flame burn bright and light up all those around you. Here's to you making a difference in the media with your story. And I'm going to stop the share now and hand over to the amazing Neni Carolina Chacin. Okay. All right, there we are. Okay, so great to see a few more people hop on the live Zoom. And anyone want to share what they got out of it? Just 1 or 2 things they got out of that presentation. What did we get? Does anyone want to share? Just unmute yourself. Even if you've heard parts of it before, you can always learn new things, right? I never know what's going to come out of my mouth with these presentations. So what did we get? What's something we got? What's maybe an action you're going to take on from that? Anyone want to share? Just unmute yourself, or just put your hand up and we'll just come. Yes, Caroline? Yes.
I was really impressed by how
I can't hear you, Caroline. Not sure why.
Oh.
Can't hear you on the sound. Can anyone else hear Caroline, or is it just me?
I can hear her.
Someone else speak?
I can hear her.
I can hear her.
Just say, or what you could do is pop in the chat, and I can share it from the chat maybe if we can't hear you. Can anyone else want to speak? See if we can hear you. We had some sound issues earlier, and weird things are happening with Mercury retrograde, I must say, with technology. Someone else like to share? Just see if we can just unmute yourself.
We could all hear Carolyn except you.
Unmute, you're just muted there. I'll just ask you to unmute. Someone else say something? Claude. Just say something there, Claude. I see you're unmuted.
Yes.
Oh, I can't hear you. Oh my goodness, that is so bizarre. Anyone else? Can anyone else hear you, or is it just me?
Caroline first, because she asked.
We can all hear everyone.
That is so strange. I don't know what's going on with this technology.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just put into the chat what you got out of that, and I'll share in the chat, and hopefully we'll be able to hear Neni. Neni, can you say something and see if we can hear you?
Can you hear me now?
Can't hear you either. Oh my goodness. That is just so bizarre. I've never had that before.
Can you hear
Does
me?
anyone know what that tech issue could be? I'm looking at the sound options, but I can't see anything in there. Audio settings. Let's see. Audio settings.
I can hear you.
Very strange. Okay. Can anyone else hear anything? I'm just seeing if there's any sort of, because it's usually mute and unmute, right?
Yes.
Okay. Caroline, I was really impressed that just one article or interview can have such a huge effect on business and publicity. That's a ripple effect. Yes, thank you, Caroline, for sharing. We can message, thankfully, we can message in here. And Michael says, oh, we can all hear everyone except you. Oh, you can't hear me? Or I can't hear you?
We can hear you. Yeah.
You can hear me? Okay, good. Can you hear each other?
Yes.
You can hear each other. Oh my goodness, that is just so weird. Let me, okay, what about now? I'm just going to take my mic off. Okay, say something now. Someone say something. Maybe it's the mic.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I can hear you. All right, it might have been my mic setting. Okay, so I can hear you. Thank God for that. All right, so.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Caroline. Would you like to share now verbally, Caroline? Now we can hear you.
Thank you. I was just saying that it's really incredible. Just one interview or one article or one talk can have such a huge effect on like your business and income, or publicity, or like you were saying, getting known.
Yes, absolutely. It is amazing. Just one media spot can I mean, just one media spot, even in your local media, will reach hundreds of thousands of people, because you're reaching the live audience and you're reaching their social media audience, and often they'll share on their website. So you're reaching exponential amounts of people now, hundreds of thousands usually with each media spot. So it might just be one or two people that hear that want to jump on board and help you with whatever it is you're doing. So
Can I say one other thing?
Sure.
Oh, just about what you were saying earlier about the 2 million people. I had, a much smaller scale thing. I did like my first little podcast. The guy said, oh, there'll be about 50 people listening. I was like, oh. And then I did this really amazing online radio with, I don't know if you know Tony Lontis. She's in your country.
Yes, yeah, I did an interview with her too. Yeah, she's great.
Super fun. And I said to her, oh, how many people will be listening, and thinking it would be similar. And she said, oh, only about 50,000. And I was like, oh my God. But doing the online Zoom thing, it's actually much better, because you don't really feel like you're speaking to all these people. So it's actually easier, I think.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the thing is treat it like you're just speaking to one person. That's really the trick, because really you are just speaking to a journalist generally. But, a lot of people freak out when they see a camera, right? They go, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with this camera? And it does feel a bit weird speaking to a camera, admittedly. It does feel weird, because it's like speaking to a little circle, right? However, it's just something that, we really just have to get used to, really, if we want to be putting ourselves out there in the best way possible. Video is a very powerful way to do it. Really powerful. And video, online TV is huge. It's because more and more people now are accessing TV on their devices, on their smartphones, on computers, etc. So video is very important to build trust. Yeah, fantastic, Caroline. Thank you so much for sharing. Who else would like to share? What did they get out of that? What did you get?
For me, I think I did not take enough opportunity of what I did about 8 radio interview around Australia. I did over 160 talks, and
Wow.
I had some write-up in magazines and local magazines, and I had a review for the book and so on. But maybe I did not take too much advantage of the opportunity that was presented to me.
Oh, look, there's always
I heard from you.
Yeah. Oh, look, there's always more you can do, Claude, always more you can do. This is the thing. And it's like with anything, it's like your website will never be exactly how you want it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people say, oh, I'm not ready for media because this isn't ready or that's not ready or whatever. At least if you can lead people at least to a Facebook page at least, or, you don't have to have all your ducks in a row to get out there. And the sky is the limit with it. So the best thing is just to start small and build your way up. Just start with a few target media that you approach and then build your way up from there.
Okay. Because
fantastic.
You did a podcast. You remember you did a podcast with me.
Yes, absolutely. And look, it's never too late.
And I put it back lately about a month or so, maybe 2 months. Time flies and you lose track of time. Yeah.
Yes, well, there's always more opportunities. There's always, a lot more we can do when it comes to media, and it's never too late, right? So as long as you're breathing and living, there's always ways you can share your message, and it's perfect that you're here today. Thank you, Claude. One more person to share, and we'll go over to Neni. One more person. What'd you get out of that? What new actions are you taking on board from that presentation?
Hello. Hi, Alwyn. How are you?
Good. Who's that speaking?
Did you say go to Neni?
Oh, Neni, how are you? We're just sharing what people got from that last presentation, and then we will go over to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to share what you got? Do you want to share what you got?
Or? So it's always, I've heard this presentation several times. I've been with you, I think 4 times now, and every single time I get something new from it, right? Like the whole, this time, what really, I've heard it several times, but, just knowing that, this lady had Oprah, have an article of her in her magazine, the magazine where she was in it, to be connected through in a way that you weren't expecting. It's like, reminds me of, don't worry about the how, but just focus on the goal. And just work on your goal, do what you need to do, and the how will present on the way if you're doing every day what you need to do. And definitely video video storytelling is what's trending. So make sure you do video, make sure you do TV, make sure you do anything online that has a camera and a video. I know it's scary, like you said, but you have to do it.
Yes, exactly. And everything that is hard now will become easier the more you do it. So it's just a matter of, facing your fear and, and just doing it anyway, right? And just sharing from the heart. So, yeah, beautiful, Neni. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to introduce you to Neni now. Time's ticking along. Now, Neni comes to us all the way from Los Angeles. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure it's a ridiculous time in the morning for you now, Neni. What time is it for you now?
It's 2:30 a.m. 2:30 a.m.
2:30 a.m. Thank you so much for joining us at 2:30 a.m. And Neni and I met a few years ago in Los Angeles, and we met at a big conference in LA, and we were doing selfies together, and we've become friends ever since. And she's spoken at quite a few of our events now, the Mass Media Tribe events, and she's always backed by popular demand. People always want more of her. So without further ado, Neni, I will hand over to you. We've got half an hour due on the scheduled call, which isn't a lot of time. I actually did a longer presentation because I didn't know if you were going to be waking up in time, and I thought, I'll do a longer presentation.
No, I did.
So thankfully you're here.
I had my alarm on, everything, but I set it to, I set it to 1:30 here so that I would go on at 2. So,
Got it.
It was just perfect. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Well, sometimes these events go up to half an hour after scheduled time. Would anyone Would everyone be okay if that happened, if we went a little bit longer today? Or does anyone have to run off it? Would that be okay by everyone?
That's fine.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Is that a yes, Michael, or
yes,
is that
yes?
Okay, awesome. Okay, we want to hear from you, Neni. So over to you without further ado. Over to you, Neni. Please welcome Neni Carolina Chacin, all the way from Los Angeles.
Yes.
Yay!
Thank you.
Neni.
Well, thank you very much, Alvin, for inviting me again this is part 3 of social media content and social media. Let me see. Oh, is that Yuki? Yeah. So Yuki is actually on there from Paris. I'm very happy that she got on there. She's participating from Paris. So I'm glad that she's in. And I know that technology can be very scary for many of you and very scary for many people in the world, but I am here to help you smooth out all the difficulties and just remove that fear of using social media and creating content for social media, okay? Let me see, can I don't see myself full screen. I see myself in the corner. Is that okay, Alvin?
Yes. Are you going to be screen sharing? I've allowed you to screen share if you need to. I can see you. I can see you full screen.
It's full screen. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure. Okay. All right. So my name is Neni Carolina Chacin, and I am a business and life coach that actually works on 360 degrees life and business coaching to transform your life, your business to success, and automate everything that you need to do to achieve success on your business online. So transform your marketing, your sales, your pitch, your presentation, and take you from a life with no purpose to a life with purpose, and also do some sort of harmony between your personal life and your business life. So that's what I do. And I'm also a professional singer, a software engineer. That's why I specialize in automation, because I am a geek. So I love all that stuff that has to do with computers, but doesn't mean that because I'm a geek and I'm a software engineer, you have to be that, to master all these tools, because they're very, very simple. They're really done user-friendly. And also I am so I'm a property investor. So those things, a lot of things that I did that happened in my life in the past led me to live in Paris for the last 6 years, and then now here in Los Angeles, while Paris is locked down. So as you know, and Australia is locked down as well. So it's like this really different world, but doesn't matter, because right now the best thing is that what I've been advocating for years and years and trying to get my clients to go online and prepare everything online, everybody has to do it now. So everybody is looking for me for advice on how to get this content online. So I'm going to share a few things. So I've been doing with Aldwin a bunch of trainings, which if you can, oh, hold on 1 second. Yeah, if you can go back and listen to those replays, that would be very helpful, because we did one on how to monetize Instagram and how to create a social media content, a social media presence online on Instagram. That would be very helpful for you. But nonetheless, you don't need to listen to that before going to this. And I'm going to share. So this is about content creation on social media, shine online with your story, right? So the first thing, I'm going to divide these in six steps. I actually have a presentation that I sent you, Aldwin, to share, but I'm not sure if I can share the screen. Let me see if I can share the screen on my phone. Let me see if I can share. No, I cannot share this way. So I think my internet provider decided to do, hold on 1 second. Okay, so there you go, images. Okay, so then I'm gonna do this, continue. My internet provider decided to do a technical, okay, so let me just see here. And then I'm using my phone instead. So that's why it's not easy right now to share. So let me share some photos here. Access to all photos. There you go. So, oh yeah, perfect. So I'm going to, yeah, let me see if I can share this one. Can you see that one? Oh yeah. Ah, yes. Perfect.
Yep, there we go.
Excellent. Yep. Yay. Okay, so this is what I'm going to share today. So first of all, we continue meeting because continue. Okay. So this is what I wanted to share. So content creation on social media. The first thing that you have to do is you have to know your objectives. So I've divided this in 6 parts: goals, the steps to do it, the strategies to use, the tips, the trends, and I give you some links so that you can use it. And so these are, the first thing is the objective. What is the goal? What is the goal of your content creation, right? The first goal is to build a brand awareness. So you want to make sure that the people know about your brand and your business. Creating a personal brand is also good for you, because the people fell in love with people, not with products or businesses. So this is very, very important. Let me go back to my, how do I go back to my, there you go. This is very important because when people fall in love with you, then they do business with you. They don't fall in love with the product or your business. They really are falling in love with you. So if you have create brand awareness online, then that is very important. The next thing is, so after you build your brand awareness, the next objective is to be a visual storyteller. So to tell your story about your product, or what you want to do, what is it about you, and do it visually through whatever social media platform that you need, that you're going to choose, right? The next objective would be to promote events, promote special offers, products, services, and do some marketing research. Like, it's very, very good tool. Any social media tool is very, very helpful to do marketing research. You can put a post to see, oh, do you like this product in pink, or do you like it in blue? And then you get feedback from your audience, and then you can mass produce the product that is actually more welcome in the marketplace, right? The next is the steps. And the steps. Let's go here and share the next slide. Number 2. Yes. There you go. So the steps. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to test your approach. When you test your approach, is the screen okay? Is the image upside down or not? It's good, right?
You've gone sideways, your face,
okay.
and it's a vertical. It's a vertical.
Okay.
There we go. That's
better.
Better. Yeah, that's better.
For some reason, when it tries to share the screen, then it goes vertical. It's okay. So I'll be. Right. So you want to test your approach. That means that you want to see the quality of your post and see exactly how. So you're gonna test. You're gonna put a post and you see, okay, this quality, I didn't like it. You see what people react more. You see what people say about your post, and what is getting more likes, what is getting more engagement. And then the second step is to be discoverable. How can you be discoverable? By using location, like tag your location, tag people, associate, like tag Aldwin, for example. If you're going to post something about this event today, tag me, tag some other person inside, create some hashtags up to, with any social media. Any hashtag is very useful. Or create keywords for the different social media. For example, YouTube uses keywords, Instagram uses hashtags, and then find the most trending ones. And I will give you some links below after to tell you different apps that will help you find trending hashtags. The third step is to engage and collaborate. When you engage and collaborate, that means that you're going to comment and reply to the people that like and comment you on your social media post. Okay, interact with them, collaborate, say, oh, and then go inside their profile and see, oh, I see that this person does this, or maybe we can collaborate and she does this and I do that. So that's how, for example, Alvin and I were doing things, right? Yeah, that's how Alvin and I were doing. Like, I see that she's doing social media, media coverage for people. And I'm training people on social media content. So that is something that is congruent with her business and congruent with my business. So then I collaborate with her, and then we have here sharing this presentation. And then plan, and then create your style and your brand image. Let me just. Create your style. So for example, maybe you like animation, or maybe you like videos, or maybe you like flowers, or maybe you like illustration. I have like Yuki, for example, that's in here in this call. She's an illustrator, and so she likes to post things that she draws. So that's your style. That's her style of content creation. My style of content creation is, of course, quotes, videos, but every single time you got to do three types of posts. One, to see what is your credibility. Number two, to elevate your credibility. Number two, to show some of your own work so that people know what is it that you do. And the other one is to prove that you are an authority on your subject. So those are the three types of content that you can produce. And anything that you post should be geared to that, like media coverage, things that elevate your credibility, the content that you that you do. Like I post my music, I post my presentations, events. And so you create a style. Like maybe my style is has a color pattern. Maybe my style has a color palette. And the last step is to tell your story visually. So you gotta think about a little bit, what is your story? What is your real goal? Like my goal is to transform the lives of people so that they live the life that they want and deserve. So I'm always talking about that. So I tell the story visually. Like I show my life. I show life that you can live. I show videos of things that I enjoy doing, so that I can tell a story that I am living the life I want and deserve, and I want you to live the life you want and deserve. So that forms a whole story. If you look through my Insta feed, you can find me at Neni Chacin on Instagram, on Facebook, Periscope, everywhere, all over social media. Then you'll see a pattern of how I tell the story visually. And then you can see my life pretty much. Now, I know that it's very scary to show your private life, but it's actually okay. Like everybody really knows about your private life. So if you want to hide it, like really, if you don't show yourself and with your product and your services, nobody can buy you. Nobody can connect with you. You can't transform other people's life. You can't touch other people's life. You can't make an impact. You can't influence. And I know that some people are uneasy with that, but it's okay. Little by little, you can open up yourself. So those are the steps. Now, the next thing is the strategy. The strategy, let me just share the strategy page, and we're going to get ready to be vertical again. Yeah. Oh, no, not marketing. There you go. Strategy. All right. So the strategy to create content online is the following. First, create something new, create new products, create new services, create new ideas, right? You have to always be innovating. Like, for example, you launched a new book, you launched a new album, you launched a new program, you launched a new product for the holidays. So always create something new. The next thing is target your content. Make sure that you know your target, that you know that this is going to women between 40 and 50 that have gone through menopause. I'm sorry, that have gone through menopause and have children, something like that, something very, very specific. People that are working only on manual craft, like whatever your target is, like target your posts. Make sure the posts are exactly for your target audience. And for the season of the holidays, this is a very good time to target the holiday season and see what people are thinking of gifts, people are thinking of gathering with other people. So target your post. The next thing is to bundle things together. For example, you say, well, you're going to have 2 products for one. So say you have 2 products or two services. So, well, if you get this services, you're going to get this other service in for free. But of course, you're going to put the price together, right? You can do great deals, and it's known that this type of strategy increases 30% of sales. So imagine 30% of sales if you bundle things, give 2 books, give two singles, two music product, two services together. The next thing is marketing and sales and co-market. So that is very interesting. So let me tell you a little bit about that. So marketing and sales, it means that you're going to do every single strategy for persuasion on sales and marketing. So I know that many of you maybe don't have all the strategies, but I'm going to give you a few. So one is you can give giveaways. You can give giveaways. Okay, I'm going to give away this course when you engage on this. So if you follow me, you do this. Or if you buy this product, I'm going to give away this beautiful mug, or I'm going to give away this fan. I'm going to give anything, right? You can give away. The giveaways cost a little bit, but even though it costs a little bit, in the end, it's going to be a lot more. Like you can give away also to get leads. So say, I'm going to give away this if you send me your email. If you click on this button, you fill out this form, then you can, you have this giveaway. And that's also another way to get them into your roster, into your lead generation mailing list. Another thing that you do for sales is you can give a flash sale. Like right now, it's very popular to do flash sales. Like, oh, instant sales, do this for 50% off. So create a simple, irresistible, time-constrained sales offer. So that means that irresistible in the sense that, like, oh my God, this is so good. The price is so good. Time constraints say like, oh, this is only for this week. And simple, meaning you just do one click, or you send me an email, or you post, or you reply, or anything. Very, very, very simple that they can access. And this is another type of post or content that you can do online. So boosting sales this way, and creating discount codes. For example, if you go into my shop, if you have a shop online, you say, well, if you go into my shop, you can type flash sale November, and that will go, or for example, Media Queen, hashtag, or you can say hashtag Media Queen, and then you will get a discount code of 10% or $10 or $1. You know, that's another way to engage and to create content online. This also is proven that increases 35% of your sales. So imagine the other one for creating bundling creates 30% increase in sales, and all these sales and marketing offers create 35% increase in your sales. And then lastly, for the strategy is co-market. Co-marketing is what Alwyn and I are doing. She is selling media coverage and I am selling coaching. And so we collaborate. So I post things for her I promote her services on my social media. So that's content that I'm creating, and she promotes me on her social media. So that is co-marketing. So find another collaborator, another brand that you like, that you can co-market, as long as you're not competing. That's very important, that you're not competing, you're not overlapping. Then you can co-market and you can talk to them. It's basically just a collaboration, right? But online. So that's another type of content. Now, the next thing is I'm going to give you a bunch of tips. So I told you about the steps. the steps. I'm going to just recap. Test your approach, be discoverable, engage and collaborate, create your style and brand, and tell your story visually. And then the strategies are creating new products, target your local market, bundle, do do special marketing and sales, and co-market, right? And now I'm going to give you a bunch of tips that will be very helpful. Let me just create another. Okay, photos, tips. There you go. And I can share this with you later. If I sent it to you, Aldwin, if you want to share with the people here. Okay. Yeah. So the tips. So the one tip, so tips for content creation. One thing is, in your Instagram, make sure you change into a business profile. This is free, and this is very good because it gives you a different tools for creating, finding the insights, which means the analysis of your information. If you don't know if this is a life not reflected, it's a life not worth living. So the same thing is for business. If you don't analyze your data, if you don't analyze your information, then you don't know how to use your marketing and all your social media. The next tip is let me just see. So left brain versus right brain. So what this means is, if you're left brain, don't overthink it, don't overanalyze it, just do it. Okay, done is better than perfect. It's just that simple. If you're right brainer, don't lose focus. If you're like attracted by different things, go one way or another way, just make sure you stay focused. Stay focused on your goals, stay focused. Remember the first thing that I told you at the beginning, goals. Make sure you know what your goal is. Always keep the eyes on the prize. Automate. There are many tools for automating your content. So for example, you can use Zapier, which is zapier.com, is a special website that is a special website that creates integrations between one app and the other. For example, now every time I post on Facebook, then it will automatically post on LinkedIn, even though there's no relationship between Facebook and LinkedIn. I can use Zapier to automate that cross-platform posting. Calendly is another website for automation for scheduling. So it's free. All these things are free things, and they have paid subscriptions, but it's paid for like a different kind of level. And maybe at the beginning, you don't really need all those paid options. That if you're just starting, you can just have the basic Zapier. Zapier is free. You can do all the zaps. And then Calendly also, you can have just one link for one schedule that is standard, and you don't have to have multiple links, right? That you have to pay for. There's apps like Over. Over is a great marketing tool for creating images, videos, and collages and everything. And it gives you every day in the main screen it's an app for your phone called Over. And with this app, you can generate the content, the video, the everything, and you can also post on multiple platforms directly from there. And then the other automation thing is Linktree. Linktree is a way to generate a link that goes into a screen with multiple buttons that you can turn on and turn off whenever you do have an offer, whenever you want to go to different things. And you can put the Linktree as instead of your website, you put the Linktree so that when they go there in the screen on their phone or on the web or on the web, they're going to see different buttons, and you direct them to your social media, offers, different things, shops. So those are the 4 automation links that I would recommend. Another tip is to measure, like I said, measure, analyze, and your progress. So with every single platform that you are using, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all of them, they all have an analysis and insights of the data that you're posting. How many people engage, which one's the one that's generating more engagement, and analyze and say, okay, when I show my face, People interact more, people say like more. So then just put your face more, even though you might think that yourself as ugly. Maybe you think yourself that you're not right. Maybe your makeup was not done. It doesn't matter. If you see that they're reacting to your face, as bad as the picture that you think it is, that's what you need to be posting more of, because that gets their attention. You want to be getting their attention so that you can actually offer your services and products and get to be known, and increase your brand awareness, increase your influence, increase your impact. Am I talking too fast, or am I going okay? Yeah.
No, you're doing great.
Yeah. Okay. Just let me know. Just raise your hand if you have a question or something like that, or send it in the chat and I'll answer it. Okay. While I'm going through. And all right. So how you change is how you succeed. So make sure that you're changing all the time. You're adapting, like during the pandemic, where everybody had to change. With the holidays, you need to be in a different mode. During a lockdown, then you need to be conscious of, you have to have awareness of the situation that's happening and change. If you're used to doing something one way, you have to change to cater to your audience. Systemize is to create procedures, to create systems and lists of steps, you can call it. Okay, so list of steps, procedures, systemize, SOP, standard operating procedures. Why you need to systemize when you do posting? Because if you say, okay, the way I'm going to post is I'm going to first create the content in this application, open the application, create the image, save it in this folder, launch Instagram or launch Facebook or launch YouTube, click on this menu, click on this tab, everything step by step. Okay, you're going to write it all down, and then you're going to have a document that says, this is how I post on Monday, or this is how I post on Tuesdays. And that way, when you have a systemized or a procedure, you can actually delegate this information to a marketing person later. So you're thinking about later scalability and removing yourself from your job so that you can go and do the more creative things and more things that you need to do. And then all these tasks become part of somebody else. But if you don't have it written down, the system and the procedure, then you cannot delegate. You can also do the procedure by doing a video of yourself. You can videotape yourself. You can record an audio step. You don't have to type it. So you can say, do this, do this, do this, do this, but just record yourself what you do. Okay, I'm doing this, then I do this, then I click on here, then I click on there. And then that way also you can reproduce your process every single time. Next is auto reply. So make sure that all the different platforms, Messenger, email, Instagram, YouTube, they all have an automated, they have a configuration where you can save an auto reply on the messages. So that's very important to create a template, a standard email or message reply to all your customers or all your audience, and say, you are going, thank you for joining, thank you for messaging, I'm going to reply really soon, and here's some information. What are you looking for? My products and services gives these benefits. If you're ever interested, here is my Calendly link. Here is, if you want a free consultation, if you want a free gift, free giveaway, immediately. So you create a little marketing message right there in the reply, and then that becomes another post. Right, that becomes another content for your social media. Then the next tip is use video. Like Alvin was saying, video speaks volumes, and it's very, very, very important to use video as much as you can. You can have a 30-second video. A 30-second video can say a lot of things. If I speak very fast, it doesn't matter. The brain registers, and the shorter the video, the better for somebody that's scrolling like this. If you're scrolling like this and you have a 5-second video, well, they're gonna catch you. But if it's a video, they're gonna stay for 2 seconds and then they continue. Now, right now, the Facebook and Instagram are giving priority to the long format videos because they're really trying to launch the Facebook TV. And Facebook is now, as you know, associated with very integrated. He bought Instagram, so it's very integrated with Instagram. Even the messengers, they have been, this week, they just integrated the messengers on Facebook and Instagram together. So it's going to be very, very seamless, the integration between these two. So they are promoting the long version video. So if you do 10 minutes, 5 minutes, it's actually very good for you right now. So use long videos. Now create a routine. When I say create a routine, I'm talking about consistency across all your social media. Why is it important? Because people are going to get to know that you post. Oh, that's okay, Melanie. I hope you're feeling better later. You have to leave, but it's okay. So you can watch this replay. And so the routine is very important, because if you have brand and content consistency at the same time, maybe you can't do it every day, but every Wednesday you post at noon. Then people know that around noon, they're going to have new content from you, and they're going to see it. So they're going to look forward to it. So I have a lot of people that say, oh, I wait every morning to wake up and do it. So sometimes I do post, and I do actually post 3 posts a day right now because of my pattern. And I'll talk a little bit about that later. But I post three things, and sometimes I post 1, but at least I post something. And if one day I don't post, it's okay, because I'm posting so much, I don't want to spam, so it's fine. But people post up to 3 things during the day. 3 things. They post video, they post a quote, they post, many of the content creators are posting multiple times during the day. So don't be afraid of spamming people with all kinds of content. Now, the next thing is, content calendar. So actually, maybe I can send you, when I have a content calendar, a calendar that many of the social media things have content calendar. And I have, for example,
excellent. I'm sure
I'll send you the calendar, one calendar for posting ideas.
Excellent. Thank you, Neni. Always very generous. Thank you, Neni.
Yeah, I have, just want to show it to you. Here it is. Voila. Okay, 31 days of Instagram post. So here, I mean, you can't see, it's very small right now, but I'm going to send you this calendar, okay?
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, and basically, the internet is back. Oh, this is good. The internet is back. Yeah, I'm working on my phone. It's, I think it's just they decided to do some technical. Oh my God, yes, it's back.
Awesome.
I wonder if I can switch, but I'm going to continue here. But
yes.
Okay. Let me see. Hold on. Let me just. I see the internet is back. Because it's better, it's probably faster. Let me just switch to the Wi-Fi. We'll switch to the Wi-Fi. We're gonna listen a little bit and then continue. Let me see.
If anyone has any questions for Neni while she's doing that, pop them in the chat. If you think of anything, you probably got lots of questions, because Neni always gives so much content. So
yeah,
yes. Going through your mind right now if you're watching this.
Okay, and oh yeah, this is perfect. Share. All right, perfect. So the content calendar is very good, and many of the apps actually do. Many of the apps do have them. And like Payoneer, not Pioneer, but Payoneer creates content calendars. And then I follow them, because sometimes you need to know what are the promotions. For example, I think I also have, here it is, for example, this is a calendar for October from Payoneer. I printed, and it tells you all over the world what are the holidays in Japan, in Australia, Halloween, national. I said, National Kangaroo Day in Australia is this Saturday, in fact. Did you know that? So now I'm going to post something about kangaroos on Saturday. So that's very important because I can target better. Like, remember what I said about the target? So target the season, targeting dates, target people. So that is very helpful. The content calendar, the calendar, content calendars are very helpful. And influencers. Another tip is to use other influencers, people that have many followers on social media. You can actually contact them and say, hey, if you post my product or something about me, like share, can you reply, can you repost, can you post on your story? And that way you can leverage their followers to your followers. So if you want to create more followers on your social media account. The next thing, influencers, curate your content. So it's very important that you create content that is unique and relevant to the times. So creating unique content means that you are creating something special, right? Sure, like maybe the picture that you took is not very well done, but just make sure next time then you have a special photo. For example, here is my cup of tea with my lips. So maybe I can create a picture. Look, it's like a heart. So maybe I take a picture of that because it looks like a heart, and then I curate the content and say, well, right now I'm sending you lots of love, take care of your nutrition, like whatever idea. So curate your content and make sure it's relevant to the times. Because right now people are worried about the health, people are worried about lockdown. So cater to that. So give them things that they can do, that they can use for their mental health during lockdown, for their immune system, to protect themselves from diseases that exist or that don't exist, if you know what I mean. Alvin knows what I'm talking about. But
yes,
anyway.
And on that point, Neni, did you know that the most used hashtag in Instagram is hashtag love, right? So if you did that photo with the love heart, right, with the lipstick, hashtag love, I love it.
I'm ready.
So you will reach more people just by having hashtag love. So when people search hashtag love, they'll find your post. There you go.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
I bought my little these are little photo booth sticks. I bought mine in LA, and I told Neni about it. She went out and bought some. So yeah, they're awesome. Great little props for online.
Absolutely, I am ready for everything. Yes. So anyway, so then that is about content, curating your content. The other thing that you can do is you create shops and then promote your shop, right? You can create a shop in Etsy. You can create a shop. You can create a Printful. Like drop shipping is very popular now. Printful is a international website that you can create products there. Design your upload your picture that goes into their products, like a mug or a bag or something, a t-shirt, whatever you want. And you can bundle that with your product and service. And you can create a product on Printful, create a free Etsy shop, and then link them and then promote your shop online. So that's another tip. Create shop on Printful and Etsy and promote it on your social media. And then script writing. So actually, that's something that I really love to do. During the beginning of the pandemic, actually before the pandemic, I started a video series called A Guide for Entrepreneurs. This is before the pandemic started. I didn't even know this is happening. And I started creating a whole training on guiding entrepreneurs how to launch their company. And I started creating the scripts. So I would prepare the script. This is what I'm going to say at the beginning. This is what I'm going to say. So blah, blah, blah. And you write it in a little text. And then I would say the video. So that was really helpful. I really loved that. It was very, very curated show. And I'm going to continue it after things calm down a little bit, because it's not relevant for people. So that's why you change, right? Remember, I talked about changing. So the content changes as things change in the life and in the world. So I changed, and then I stopped that, and I'll continue it later. but I'm ready. So I created scripts, and script writing for video is very helpful. It's really good. And I would encourage you to play with it. You know, for example, you're going to present yourself. You say, okay, I'm going to say this, this, and that. You write it, you put it in front of you, and then you speak it. So that's a very good way to use script writing. And lastly, templates. Templates are very good. I have a template for my quotes. So I'm sure like Alwyn has templates for, you know, what those messages that she makes, like the hearts for the love and the animal awareness news and all that stuff. She has templates that are empty. And then when she has a new content, she just plugs in the text.
Yes.
And she may use different applications. She automates it, and then she posts it whenever it's relevant. So I would encourage you also to create templates. Templates are very helpful because then you save time, right? You don't have to create it all every single time. Now we're going into trends. And trends, are, so this is very good, very good. Let me just show you here in the Zoom, the trends. Photos. Trends.
There's a question here too from Caroline. Question here from Caroline. She says, read video. Can we do it on our phone, or do we need to get more sophisticated software? And if so, can you recommend the best microphone headsets, etc.?
Yes. So I would recommend to do most of the social media on your phone, meaning, well, it depends on the social media, right? Like if you have Instagram, of course, it's better on your phone. It's easy, it's fast. But Facebook Studio Creator actually is one of the links that I'm going to share with you in a minute. Facebook launched something called Creator Studio, which now you can actually share. You can actually post from the web on Facebook and also on Instagram. So you don't need the phone for posting on Instagram and Facebook anymore. But I would recommend mostly use your phone. For YouTube, for example, I actually upload things on my phone, and sometimes I upload things on the web as well. And in regards of the microphone, if you have an updated, maybe a phone from at the most 2 years ago, your video camera and your phone is actually enough for any content creation on social media. If you have a my laptop actually is from 2014, I believe, and my microphone and the video camera from my laptop is an Apple product. It's actually very good still quality for my social media content. So you don't need anything special, but if you want to use a special mic, I use for my recording, as it's professional, okay? It's just a condenser mic that I love, and it's from the iRig series or iRig product. Hold on, let me just so that you can see me. It's from iRig company, and it's very nice. I don't have it outside right now, but it's really good. And it's a little mic that plugs in your USB in your computer. But if you want a mic for your phone, then you need something that plugs into your phone, that depending on if you use what kind of technology you use for your phone, Android or Google or Apple. But if it's for your computer, I would use the iRig one. It's a very good one. And any latest technology on microphone will be good. If you want to have an external camera on your phone, all the social media platforms allow for external audio and video inputs. So you can just configure it right there. If you want to be more professional, sure, you can connect it. My favorite, there are plenty of video cameras, but my favorite one, because it has a great audio quality, is the GoPro version. And the GoPros connect very well. Yours is good for content creation outside. They're small, they're tiny, they're resistant. They're made for outdoor sports and extreme sports. So they're very resistant. They're a little expensive, but even if you get one from 2 years ago, it's absolutely amazing. And they're like tiny like this. So you can, very portable. So those are the recommendations. But going back to the trends, the trends these days are the following. Let me go back to the photos.
Great tips there, Neni. And I would just add to that, I have this little Samsung mic here, Samsung mic, which I plug into my laptop, and it's just a little portable mic that you can just fold up. I wanted something portable for travel. You can just fold it up like that. And I was recommended to get that. People use it for podcasting. Rode is a great brand, RODE, and Logitech webcams are also really good. So there's a few tips on those. Back to you, Neni.
Yeah. All the technology right now, any technology that you get right now, like this day, is going to be great. Like everything works, and if you get it depends on your budget. If you have budget for something more expensive, just get something a little more expensive that you get better quality, but still you can pay for very, very low price things on Amazon, and absolutely you can get good stuff. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so the trends. So 3D. 3D is like virtual reality and things that are in 3D, like videos and actually some emoji icons and things that are generating now. Like, I don't know if you've seen the Apple version of the emoji icon. So you can actually, if you go into my social media, maybe later, like if you go in the back couple months, I think I created an icon where I was talking and it was me and it was an animation. And I was doing it in 3D. And those are some trendy things. 3D, vivid colors, and gradients. Gradients are very, very popular. Motion, so things that are in motion, videos, animation. And then also the fonts. And so colors, what's trending. This is the fall season, maybe in the places where there are seasons, then you can cater to the colors of the season. Like right now in Australia is what you're leaving the summer, you're leaving the winter right now, right? You're going into spring, right? Yeah.
What are we going? Yeah, I think we're in spring, are we?
Yeah, you're in spring, right? Yeah, you're in spring right now. Yeah, so you're in spring, so you're just spring colors, spring season, right? Like in
September,
the US,
spring.
Yeah, so in the East Coast, it's like fall time, so you can use the fall colors. But in Los Angeles, it's always sunny, so it's always summer clothes. But it is getting colder, and the fonts. So right now, trending is very skinny, thin fonts. Right now, that's trending. Another thing that's trending is the stories. Stories are trending, so make sure that you generate stories like left and right. Stories are things that you can post on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and actually now a little bit some stuff going on YouTube that is adapting, but they only stay there for 15 seconds and they go to the next, and they only stay there for 24 hours. So it's a short 15-second video of a static photo or a video, and it stays there for 24 hours. The next day is gone. So stories are very popular because they show up on the top of the screen of your social media, and it grabs the attention of people. So that's very, very trendy. Voiceover. So as you have probably seen many videos where as you hear the voice, it's also typed in the bottom. And the reason that is because a lot of people cannot have their audio on, so they put it in the bottom as a voiceover so that people can read it without having thank you, Caroline. So that you can have the read the content. And then one useful tool for this is an app on the iPhone called Clips. If you go into Clips app, which is a free app native to Apple, you can actually record a video, and as you record the video, you tell it to put subtitles, and as you record you can have already a recorded video and speak over it. And in the Clips app, you can remove the audio from the video, and it tell them to do the subtitles, and it actually speaks what you're saying, and it's really, really helpful. I do it, and my business for entrepreneurs series actually has this feature. And then the next thing that's trending is taking your customer behind the scene. So you can do like content where you take them, let me just change here. Yep. Where you take them behind the scenes, you show them the backstage, you show them how you do things, you know, like, oh, how, you know, this is a secret pathway to, like, for example, last week I was in Boston for a singing event. Actually, I sang also for Aldwin in a special show for animal for doggy shelters, but I stayed in a special place that had a special history. So I decided to do a behind the scenes and tell the story of the hotel where I was staying. And so I took my audience to that little back door so that they can see that. So those are different other ideas for content creation that are trending. The other thing, of course, you know, live videos are trending. Being live anywhere in all the platforms is very trendy. And the next thing is joining the e-commerce. I just told you about Printful and Etsy. So joining e-commerce is very trendy. So even if you have a product and service that is actually just consulting or anything like that, it will behoove you to not create maybe a mug or let me see if I don't have my mug here today, but I have a mug with my logo, so I can say, well, I do that in Etsy, my Etsy shop, in my Printful, and what I do is I live your dreams brand, and I tell them, well, if you buy my product, you're gonna get this mug, or if you want it, like my clients may know me and they want to buy my product, buy a mug that says Neni, live your dreams, so they buy it from there. So it's another way of getting some revenue, and you do posts on your social media promoting these e-commerce products that you don't have to create or fulfill or anything. You know, Printful and Etsy take care of everything. They ship directly when they order. And then lastly, e-wallets, like make sure that you use electronic payments like PayPal and Venmo and Chime. I don't know what other systems are in Australia and all around the world, like Revolut in France. They have other kinds of stuff, but that's very trendy. And lastly, so then I have a few links that I wanted to share. Actually, let me see. I think what I'll do, can I send this? I'm gonna send these links, Aldwin, to your messenger. Can you post it on the chat?
Sure, I can do that.
Yes.
This is being streamed to the Mass Media Tribe group on Facebook. So within the group, I know there's a few people watching there. Thank you, those that have joined us. See Tony Lontis, we spoke about her earlier. She's on here. Tony D, a few others.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna share these links. So I just shared a few things. So if you can share what I just sent you in the messenger in the chat. The first one is a link to a motivational quotes. And yes, the first one is a link to the motivational quotes. So these are ideas that you can take any of these motivational quotes, even some of these images, and post them on your content. The next one is keyword searches for your hashtags and for your content. So this link is a website that you actually type, for example, let's say your product is chocolate, and or your service is media coverage. So you type media coverage and it actually tells you all the trending questions that are going online. So then you just basically create content for those questions. So like, for example, let's say it's chocolate, say, well, where to get chocolate, how to make chocolate cake. So then you actually post there all the different things. So that's the second link. The third link, it's actually an article about 10 tips, 10 simple ways to instantly jazz brand your Instagram feed. So it's actually a little tip for Instagram, and it's an article that I thought it would be very good for you guys. The next one is not a link, it's just a website called Lead Tags, and leadtags.com. It's an app called Leetags. Lead Tags is an app that you can download for both your Android and your Apple, and you can find out what are the trending hashtags that you can use for your social media content. And lastly is the Facebook Creator Studio link where you can create content for Instagram and Facebook on the web. So those are the links that I wanted to share with you. And if did you share them already? Yeah, probably, right? Yeah.
Yes, I've shared them in the chat on the Zoom and also on the Facebook group.
Awesome. So that is, let me see here if I can also share them on the chat and here for myself. There you go. Yeah, excellent. And the last thing I wanted to share, so those are the links that are going to be very helpful for you. And lastly, I have a last page that is sort of like, let me switch it again. Yep, and switch it back. Excellent. So these are sort of like in summary. In summary, I wanted to share this. And so in general, for content creation, I would say create quotes and post them. Any of the platforms. In YouTube, create a video with quotes where you talk about it, what you think about it. Facebook, you have LinkedIn. LinkedIn is more for business. Twitter, you have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have all kinds of, you have TikTok as well. There's also videos, and you have YouTube, that's also videos. So put quotes in the content. Use patterns and color palettes that are unique for yourself. Decide on which pattern you want to use, which color palettes you're going to use, and stick to that. Choose multiple platforms to post your content. Use cartoons, emoji-icons, and emojis to in the text, in the images, and in the posts, and that will create a lot of attention. Make sure you use a lot of video. Post on IGTV and post on YouTube. And you can share from, if you post on your IGTV, it can share automatically to your Instagram feed, and also you can share it to your story. And if you link your Instagram with your Facebook, it will also share automatically to your Facebook page or your Facebook profile. Use Over, Clips, and Filmer. These are the apps that I prefer on my phone to create content for social media. Over is my favorite so far, and Clips is for videos, and Filmer and Clips are both for creating videos out of photos. So I love them. They're very simple to use, and they're free, and it's fantastic. I love them. And photo ideas, I give you photo ideas. Use faces, bright colors, shocking things, funny things, and do lots of lives. Do a live a week and do a consistent schedule. Remember the routine, have a live per week. And finally, my favorite word, created by no other than Alwyn, is the be Googleicious. Be Googleicious and create hashtags, be discoverable, create hashtags and keywords and everything else. So I hope this was not too long. Let me see. I hope this was not too long.
Awesome. Awesome, Neni. Thank you so much. Thank you. Big round of applause for Neni. Yay. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Amazing content as always. And thankfully we can go back and watch the replay, because I'm sure there's a lot that we didn't catch there. So super helpful. Thank you very much, Caroline says. Now we have some giveaways. So I would like to share my screen now. If you have questions for Neni, pop them in the chat while I bring up the giveaways. Okay, here we are. All right, so we have giveaways. Now I have 2 media workshop tickets for my How to Gain $1 Million worth of free publicity workshop, which is coming up. And I'm going to give you some dates too for our future events. Anyone with questions, pop in the chat for Neni. And we've got the media workshop coming up 11 till 2 p.m. Queensland time, or 12 till 3 on November 4. And for a ticket to that worth about $50, 47 plus booking fee, 12 till 3 Sydney time, 11 till 2 Queensland time. And the winner is Yuki. Congratulations, Yuki.
Oh, fantastic, Yuki. You found something. That's great. In Paris.
Yay,
thank you for
Yuki.
joining from Paris.
Yes, thank you for coming all the way from Paris. Yuki, please send me a private message in Facebook. Look me up on Facebook. It's the my main profile is the one with my with a really big smile and my hair sort of to one side. So so please send me a message. I'll pop the link for the workshop in the chat here too before we go. And for another ticket to the workshop. And if anyone else wants to give something away, we can do that in a moment. Ticket to the workshop, and the winner is me. Yay! Awesome. I'm going to remove myself from the stream. We'll do that again. I love my workshop so much. I'm going to attend my own workshop.
Yeah.
Hey, Neni, I think you have been to one of my workshops.
I have.
You may not want that, but you could have a media strategy session with me, or does someone else want to donate something for Neni? Anyone else want to donate anything?
Yeah, so whoever wants to just send me a message, like I'll donate a free consultation for Caroline. Since my name is Carolina as well, the Caroline, I'll give you a free consultation. And just send me a message, please. Send me a direct message so that I can get your, I'm a little behind my giveaways.
Thank you very much,
Okay,
Neni.
so Caroline's well, Neni, I'm happy to give you, you're welcome to come back to the workshop if you like, or a media strategy session for you. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, and whoever wins this, this is a ticket to the workshop. Claude, congratulations, ticket to the next workshop. You have won. Awesome. And I know Michael is a member of the Mass Media Mastery program. So Michael, you get to come back for free as part of that Mass Media Mastery membership anyway. And Caroline's won something. So everyone's a winner, baby. Everyone's a winner, baby. Once again on the Mass Media Tribe events. That's how we like to keep it. Everyone's a winner, baby. Yeah, everyone's a winner, baby. Awesome. Congratulations, everyone who's won. Please reach out to the people that you have won prizes with the, how do you message Neni? Okay, Neni, do you want to put your link in there? Neni Carolina Chacin, and I will just pop into there. The now the how to gain $1 million worth of free publicity. That is also on Eventbrite. You can find that. Okay, and it's on Facebook events as well. All right, so if you just look up how to gain $1 million worth of free publicity, you will find my upcoming workshop. And this could be the last one potentially that I'm going to run of these this year. November 4 is the workshop, how to gain $1 million worth of free publicity. And I'm going to pop the link right now into the Zoom chat, and I will pop it under the live stream as well. So just say, whoever won a ticket to that, just say you're going and send me a private message and just say that you want a ticket. And we will make sure you get the direct Zoom link so you don't pay for that event. And for the Mass Media Tribe people here, if you want to pop any links on there too, Mass Media Tribe.
Is there any question?
Any questions before I give you the dates for our upcoming Mass Media Tribe meetups? Michael says, just fantastic. Thank you, Neni, and thank you, Alden. You are most welcome, Michael. Really glad you enjoyed it. It's always great to have people who are grateful in the Zoom room, and gratitude is your highest vibration. You want to attract more amazing things in your life, get into gratitude. Fantastic, Mike. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here. Neni's put her link there, Neni Carolina Chacin or Chacin.com is the how you'll find it, CHACIN.com.
Yeah, or automate your success coaching.com. You can also go there. I mean, you can find me anywhere. Just type my name online, and then any of the social media will show up, and you just send me a message there and you can contact me. You can ask me any questions, like even after this, you can please contact me. Please share what you think about the content. What would you like to have what would you have liked if something that you wanted me to talk about? Just send me a message. Oh, can you talk about this? Can you do a video about this? You know, this is also part of the content creation, like engage with people to see what they want, to see what they need. because
Yes.
I know what I need. I know what you need intuitively. But if you tell me what you need, what you want, I'll post it.
Yes.
So that's
awesome.
part of the content creation. You need to really be in tune with your audience and contact them. If you contact them for 1 hour every day, actually, you can get sales. So
yes. Awesome. Now we need to wrap up because we've gone well over time. And now if you've been on the live Zoom, please save the chat. We've got some amazing links in there. Just go down to where you have chat there at the bottom, and next to where it says everyone and file on the right, there's 3 little dots. Just click that and you can save the chat. Okay. So make sure you save the chat on the live Zoom room. Meanwhile, I am going to give you some upcoming dates. From Claude says, thank you so much, Neni and Aldwin, to have shared your knowledge with us. Take care, stay safe, everyone. Thank you, Claude. So great to see you again after all these years. Brilliant. So some upcoming dates for your diary. Okay, we have Sheila Mack from Los Angeles coming to join us. This is going to be an earlier time on November 5 at the next Mass Media Tribe Meetup. So 4 till 6 p.m. Queensland time it's going to be, or 5 till 7 p.m. Sydney time, and that's lights, camera, action. Now, Sheila Mack has written a book called From Bootstraps to Bra Straps, and she's had over 40 media appearances just in the last year. She is one of our Mass Media Mastery clients, sorry, just in the last month. She's one of our Mass Media Mastery clients, and she has been blitzing it with the media coverage. So we're going to hear her story and how she's done it. So that's November 5, 4 till 6 p.m. Queensland time. And then on November 18, 6 till 8 p.m. Queensland time, we've got Jackie Everett, who's going to talk about branding, which will be fantastic. And then we have 2 weeks after that, December 3, we have Lizelle Hartley from Perth. She's going to talk about how to take your business to the next 3 levels. December 3, 6 till 8 p.m. And the last one for the year at this stage is December 17. We have an amazing lady called Christiana Tudor, who I just met. I'm interviewing her tomorrow morning, actually. She's based in New York, and she's going to talk about how to use social media for greatness. And that's 7 till 9 p.m. Queensland time, December 17. And I just told her about you yesterday, actually, Neni. I said, you've got to connect with Neni. And so she's an amazing lady as well. So some phenomenal people coming up for future Mass Media Tribe events. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure to be with you. And if you're on Facebook, if you have any questions for Neni, please pop into the Facebook under the live stream in the Mass Media Tribe Facebook group. Any questions in there? Remember to save the chat if you're on the live Zoom. Of course, for future events, you need to be on the live Zoom beautiful. I love that, Neni. You need to be on the live Zoom to win prizes, okay, for future events. And also connect with me. You can connect with me, Media Queen TV. Make sure you check out my YouTube channel. We have some amazing, inspiring interviews on there and content. Global Good News Challenge, of course, coming up November 2 to 6. You can get involved. Here's your chance to put your story out there. Share your good news. Global Good News Challenge. Check it out on Facebook. Please stay connected. Reach out to anyone you've resonated with tonight. Automate your success coaching. I love it, Neni. This is fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. And if you want to take a photo of us, we can do that too. And actually, Neni, if you put one of those up, I'll get a quick photo. I'm going to put a whole lot of photos on social media. I'll tag you guys. Okay, here we go. Let's put one up. There we go. Big smiles to the camera. Hey. I love it. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Any final comments? Anyone want to say what they got out of tonight or what they're going to take away? Anyone want to share before we wrap up? Thank you, Neni, as well, for coming to us at a ridiculous 2:30 in the morning for you. Thank you so much as well for waking up in the middle of the night to be here with us and so energetic. You are an absolute inspiration. Love your work, Neni.
Thank you.
Love your work. And the Animal Action events, of course, which you performed at Animal Action Night for Dogs. We've got the live stream up on the Animal Action events page on Facebook. You can contribute to the fundraiser over the next month. Check out the live stream. Over 15 performers and speakers. It was an amazing event, and Neni was involved. So if you want to hear Neni singing, go to Animal Action events to the live stream. It's pinned to the top of the page. She's an amazing singer as well, by the way. Opera trained, classical trained singer. Is that right, Neni?
Yes.
Amazing, phenomenal, multi-talented.
Yes. Yeah, and actually when I came back from that event, you inspired me. So I bought some doggy water bowls and I put it outside my door in my house so that the people that are walking the dogs can actually drink water. And I had some customers already. I also bought some treats, and then if I see them and I hear them, then I offer them treats. So they're gonna love me all because I can't have a pet here in my house. Unless it's an emotional pet. So then I am having everybody's in the neighbor pets. I'm giving them water, and I drew a doggy, and I put like a chalk on the streets. It's a water here and a doggy.
That is awesome, Neni. Thank you so much for taking action for dogs. That is so cool. That is so cool. See, it might seem like a little thing, but for that thirsty dog, that bit of water there would have been fantastic. So thank you for lighting up the light of dogs out there. You're amazing, Neni. Thank you. So Claude, Caroline, Yuki, anything you want to share about what you got out of tonight, what you're taking on board? Just unmute yourself. Caroline.
Hi, can I just say thank you very much to both of you for sharing all your knowledge and advice. It was really helpful. Just sometimes it seems a bit overwhelming where you're not sure where to start.
Yes.
But having it in those concise list things is a good way to kind of work through things. So thank you very much.
Beautiful, Caroline. And look, the sky's the limit with all of this, right? And it is easy to get overwhelmed. I totally get it. So the thing is just pick a few things, right? Even just 3 things from tonight, and take on just 3 things from tonight. And the 3 main things you want to do, whether it's, making a business account for Instagram could be one thing you're doing. Maybe you might add some hashtags to your next post, right? Just keep it simple. You can always build on it from there. Hashtag I grow, you grow. I love that. Let me get a photo of that one. Oh, Neni, you're amazing. I just want to keep taking photos of you and your signs. Okay, here we go.
I worked on it. You inspired me. I mean, whenever Aldwin was doing the I'm like, I need to have this, and I'm going to show you. This is a hashtag. You see, find something that includes your message. Find a hashtag that has, and if you need some help, I have that. I'm prepared. I have that too. Look.
They are so cool. Awesome. From Australia to LA, from the Gold Coast to LA, amazing. See how we're just all so connected, right? Let's get emotional. That's so cool. Emotional. That's awesome. Oh, we're here to entertain you. That's what we're here for. From Claude, I am muted, so the oldie has to do a lot of learning now. Thank you so much. Claude, good on you for being here. Thank you so much. Oh, you're unmuted.
I'm unmuted now. Yeah, the oldie has to learn so much. Oh, dear me.
There is a lot to learn, and it changes all the time, right? As Neni said,
that's the terrible things.
Messenger,
change all the time.
Oh, it's never ending. It's never ending. It's never ending. So embrace the change. One thing is certain in life is change, right? So it's about embracing the change. If you don't embrace the change, you will stay behind. We want to help you stay on top of your game. And it is important to move with the times. As the times move, if you don't, you will go out of business potentially. Worst case scenario, right? So it's important to just keep up and just keep taking some action, even small actions towards your goal, right? And seek help. If you don't know how to do it or you don't want to do it, just outsource it, right? Get someone else to do it.
Absolutely. So one thing
sorry, Neni. What a 74 and a half years old has to learn. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's okay. Like age doesn't matter. Age really doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Like, listen, you are here. How many people of your age are on a Zoom call, learning about content creation online? Like, very few. So you are very, very few of the selected. And like, I know I talked about a lot of things and I gave a lot of content, but if you watch the replay carefully and you look at each of the presentation slides, just go one by one and then go the first one. So just stop in the first slide that I shared. And the first slide is first thing is goals. So just 1 week, say, okay, I'm going to set my goals. Then the next week you set the next item. See, you don't have to do everything in the same day or the same week or you don't have to get everything right away. I mean, these are things that I've been doing since Instagram started. So, it's not something that I learned in an hour, right? In a Zoom call. So And of course, it takes practice, it takes consistency, and it takes repetition to get something done. So the first thing is the first thing. Just start with your goal, start with one platform only, and just practice. Just like the first, the first step I said, just test your picture, test something on your house, post something. Doesn't matter what, but the most important thing is to do an action. If you get paralyzed, then you don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So
I do a lot of Facebook, but I used to. You see what I mean? Now all these extra things for me seems to be.
Take one thing at a time. Don't do it all at the same time. Take one thing at a time.
Absolutely.
My son has lost hope with me.
No, it's never too late, Claude. Never too late. Look, 70 is the new 40, Claude. Okay, 70 is the new 40, and souls are ageless. Okay, so I don't want to hear that age excuse thing again. Okay, it's no.
It's just for IT, sweetheart. It's just for IT. All this IT stuff.
Now, how long is that? How long is that walk?
Bad.
Now, how long is that Comino Trail that you did, Claude? How long is that walk?
The first one was 100 days.
100 days.
Yeah, I walked every day for 100 days, and I covered about 2,500 kilometers.
Wow.
At 70, the last one I did in 2018 for the documentary, covered plus what I did extra. It was 1,100 kilometers. And Caroline, I did the documentary with some New Zealanders.
Amazing. Look, Claude, if you can do that, you can do Instagram. If you can do that, you can do social media. Seriously, like you are amazing. You are amazing. Everything is possible. Everything is possible. Okay. And if you ever get in,
I'm hoping to inspire. And even now, people say to me, Claude, how could you do that alone? I said, I was a bit mad. Madness is good.
Oh, look, it takes the crazy ones to change the world, Claude, and you're it. We're all in this together, right? These are the beautiful, crazy people here that we're out to change the world, and we can do it, right? Yeah. One step at a time, one step at a time. It's a beautiful thing. And look, whenever you get into overwhelm, because I know this personally very well, because I always have a never-ending to-do list. And someone said to me the other day, they said, call it a get-to-do list, right? I get to do this, right? Isn't that a great reframe? I get to do this list, right? Now, whenever I get into overwhelm, I brain dump everything out of my head, down on a bit of paper, right? Write down everything, write it down, everything, not type it up, write it down. There's power in writing things, right? I know it's a bit of a forgotten art with some people, but write down a list of everything out of your head, brain dump it onto paper, and then prioritize and just say, okay, what are 3 things I can do today? Or what's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? Break it down. What's the next thing? Live your dreams. That's right, Neni.
I'm living my dreams, sweetheart, but it's just IT.
I love it. I'm going to get a photo of Live Your Dreams. Oh, it's awesome.
Start dreaming at 64.
Oh, look.
It's never too late. It's never too late.
No, it's never too late. I mean, the oldest living people on the planet were like 250. So, you've only just begun, Claude, So anything is possible. And look up the longest living people on the planet. Seriously, it's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah. Yuki, are you with us? Yuki, a black screen there. And for some reason, the Facebook Live recording didn't show people who weren't on camera. Oh, Yuki, there you are. Hello, Yuki. Oh, you're Yuki, you're muted.
Okay, sorry.
There you are.
Can you hear me?
Hey, there's Yuki. I'm going to get a photo of Yuki because we didn't get your face.
Neni, I'm sorry. I've been a little bit shy and I wasn't really, ready to show my face.
Welcome, Yuki. You look lovely. You look lovely. What did you get out of tonight, Yuki?
A lot. I have to really, Neni always teach me a lot of things and it takes me a lot to digest. The first part of, your seminar, I wasn't really listening too much. Sorry. So,
okay.
I have
You can
to
go
study
back
more.
and listen to the replay.
Yeah, you can go back. I won't take it personally. That's all right.
Sorry. Yeah.
I won't make it mean anything.
It's all right. It's all right.
Actually, this is my first time doing Zoom, so I was a bit shy about this. And thanks to Neni, because she's always pushing me.
Very good. Well, thank you for coming on, Yuki.
Thank you.
What's one thing you're going to do, Yuki, from here? What's one thing?
What one thing that I would do? I will get back working on the marketing from now on. And I think being in touch with Neni, it makes me, it realized me to do that.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you, Yuki.
Yes.
That's great. Well, I'm so glad you could join us.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yuki is an amazing illustrator, and she has a French teaching book. So she has created 2 books to teach French through illustration and phonetics. So one is called ABC Paris, and has basic French words and to learn about the gender in French. And then she has a phonetic book called ABC Phonetics, which is the 2. So there are 2 books for learning French, and she has amazing graphics. And she has actually a beautiful cat that has its own personality, Nocha. She's very interesting. So she draws Nocha in different things and different ways to put it in Paris. She's lovely, Nocha. And she uses the illustration and her craft to teach people how to speak French, and also to inspire them and give them motivational. So she has a beautiful illustration, motivational graphics with Japanese and Chinese proverbs. And she has an Instagram called Illustrator in Paris, and she is incredible. So she's been with me for Yuki? Yeah, 2 years now? I don't know. I lost count. 2 years, yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
Alors, Yuki,
Yes.
je te remercie pour faire pour ce
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Well, I have a lot to share, but I'm still quite shy about my going in front of people. So there's a lot to learn for me. So
Mais parce que je suis française. Je suis née en France, Yuki.
Ah ouais?
D'accord.
Ah ouais?
Oui, je suis née en France, oui. Je suis née en Savoie, à Aix-les-Bains, près d'Annecy. Annecy est plus connue peut-être que ça avec Aix-les-Bains. Oui.
Ah ouais? Ah, c'est bien ça.
Oui, on aurait dû parler toujours en français.
Oh, I love it. This is so cool. Oh, I can listen to you. Oh.
Perfect. So you see, this is c'est la connexion internationale.
Et voilà, c'est ça le monde. C'est beau le monde. C'est tout cet ensemble de personnes de différentes nationalités. C'est merveilleux. C'est pour ça que parce que je rencontre des différentes nationalités. J'adore.
Beautiful thing.
C'est très mignon ça. Merci Alwyn.
Yes, thank you so much. I know wee when I go to the toilet. I do wee. That's about all.
Je le parle aussi, Claude. Bonjour, bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Oh, this is hilarious. We could keep chatting all night. Thank you so much for joining us. Please connect after this. It's been such a pleasure being with you. Thank you for staying on later and being with us. We've got an hour over time, and we always give extra value here at the Mass Media Tribe event. Extra value, bonus value.
And I have another meeting in 1 hour actually. So
okay, so
I can't go to sleep.
No sleep for you, Neni. Maybe you could power nap. All right, beautiful.
For 45 minutes, I doubt it. If I go to sleep, It'll be hard to wake up again. I have another Zoom call with JT. People. In 1 hour. So
well, I'll be sending love your way, my darling, all the way from Australia. Sending love your way. We'll be thinking of you. and sending lots of love. Thank you so much once again for joining us. Please connect after this, connect on social media, support each other. Here's to you shining bright and lighting up those around you. Be the change that you want to see in the world, as Gandhi said. Be the change you want to see in the world. Thank you so much, Neni, for being our guest speaker. And please watch the replay if you missed any of it. Ask your questions in the chat, and we will see you again soon, hopefully at the next Mass Media Tribe event. And I look forward to seeing your good news challenges as well. Thank you so much. Good night, and take care. Good night, good morning. Good night, good night.
Good night, good night, good morning.
D'accord, d'accord, Caroline, d'accord. Okay.
Merci, Vicky.
Au revoir.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.